MixLR.com, your one-stop sports shop, and on MixLR.com/wakeupcallDT, hanging out with you inside of the Cafe Kubal studios, and very, very happy to be here per always. So thank you so much for tuning in to the broadcast here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, and I welcome you in happily as we get things started here. We were on the road to start off the week, so we got to do a little Wake Up Call OTR, which was fun, as always. And now we are back here in the studios and having some fun with you inside of the Cafe Kubal studios. We had the Cafe Kubal travel studios yesterday, and now inside of our studio here in Central and Upstate New York. So very happy to be here with you and happy to be hanging out with you where sports truly meets that thing called life. And I hope that you are having yourselves a tremendous morning. I want to give a very special thanks to the wonderful, wonderful Long Island area and to all the beautiful people that are there. Obviously, Teresa and her family, the Marinos. So a big shout out to everybody there. And a lot of thanks that we got to do the show live from Long Island. And we got to, I got to talk about so many things and experience different things from Long Island and really have a good time. So I want to give a shout out to Long Island again because it was great to do our first Wake Up Call broadcast on the island. And it was the 100th episode of 2021. So to celebrate episode 100, to be around positivity and love, and to be able to not only do the show for the first time there, but have episode 100. I mean, it all just kind of came together to do episode 100 and be in a new location where we've never broadcasted before was pretty cool. So many thanks to Long Island, and we look forward to all that is to come that we could potentially do out there. So a lot of fun and a lot of excitement there on May 24th. With that being said, we have a jam-packed show here today. I'm ecstatic about the guests we're going to be bringing on to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora this morning. I'm so happy for you to be here and for you to be joining us where sports meets that thing called life, as Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora comes to you on Facebook.com/WakeUpCallDT, shared on Facebook.com/LiveNowDT, on YouTube.com/WakeUpCallDT, as well as on MixLR's live streaming internet radio that you get on MixLR.com/WakeUpCallDT and on WakeUpCallDT.com. So however you're tuning into the show, we thank you so much and appreciate you for being a part of the broadcast every Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time. And, of course, inside of these Cafe Kubal studios, Cafe Kubal is located for you all throughout Central and Upstate New York. They have multiple locations in Syracuse. Those locations are going to be on 3501 James Street, 324 West Water Street, 208 North Townsend Street, as well as 401 South Salina Street, and inside of Golisano's Children's Hospital. You'll also be able to find them out on 343 Fayette Street in Manlius at the newest location for Cafe Kubal. So make sure you find your way out there coming up here very, very soon. You could go out there, yourself a bite to eat before work, after work, somewhere in between. So definitely do that. 343 Fayette Street in Manlius, New York, their newest location for Cafe Kubal. So a lot of great stuff here, and definitely looking forward to all that we will do. You know that we are there once a month hanging out at Cafe Kubal on site on location. So we're excited for what June will bring, and we'll definitely be bringing you that information on Facebook at Wake Up Call DT, Twitter at Call DT, and Instagram at Wake Up Call _DT. So make sure you look out for us and look out for that information as it comes. If you're a part of our social media, you'll be the first to find out. So make sure that you link to our social media. If you haven't already done that, make sure that you do that today here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. So much love and much appreciation for everybody that has connected with us. And like I said, inside these Cafe Kubal studios, very happy to be here with you. Today's show filled with awesome pieces, and it's going to start things off in just a few minutes around 9:15 a.m. Eastern Time. We are going to be joined by none other than Mr. Scott Landers. Scott Landers will be joining us here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. I'm very, very excited to have Scott join the show. Scott is the Oswego State Lakers head baseball coach, and the team just found out they've been selected to go to the postseason. So I'll be talking with Scott all about that and covering what's coming up, how the season went. The team, for those that don't know, the team went 24-5 overall and have been selected once again to go to the postseason. I believe that this, the multiple straight list continues to grow for them and how many times they continue to make it to the postseason. And I'm very, very ecstatic about this and very excited to speak with Scott about it, because this baseball team, under his work, his effort, his enthusiasm, has really become something very, very special. A team that people expect to be in the postseason. And so I'm very much looking forward to the conversation that's going to be coming up. 6 straight bids to the Nationals. 6 straight times they have been invited. NCAA Division III Baseball Committee announced that Oswego would be there. A Pool C bid. They're the 2nd seed in the Hartford, Connecticut Regional, which is hosted by Trinity College. And so this is the 6th straight time. So very, very cool to see this, and very excited for them to be here, and very much looking forward to it. And we'll break it all down, and we'll talk about what this all looks like and how the games go and whatnot. The regional is going to start this Thursday, May 27th, and Oswego State's first game will be against the 3-seeded Houston, and that'll be at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time this Thursday, May 27th. So a lot of great stuff coming up here for Oswego State as they make their 6th straight trip to the NCAA postseason. So we will be discussing that with Scott Landers and what it means for the community and what it means for the team and everything. We'll be discussing all of that coming up here in just a little bit with him at 9:15 a.m. Eastern Time. Then we're going to hop in to a conversation at 10:15 a.m. Eastern Time, where I will have the luxury of speaking with a good friend of mine and someone who is no stranger to Syracuse sports as well as the NFL, and that is none other than Mr. Shamarko Thomas. And Marco is going to be joining me in just a little bit here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora at 10:15 a.m. Eastern Time. About an hour from now, he'll join us in hour number 2 and bring it on home in hour number 2 for us. And he'll be having a very unique conversation. We always have great conversations. There's always great stuff that comes out of Shamarko and I being on the phone together. And we will have the chance today for him to really reach out in a special way to players that are currently trying to make it to the NFL and whatnot. I mean, he'll speak on his life from inside of the NFL, as only the players that play can do so. So he'll talk about what life truly has been inside of the NFL, and he'll speak on his experiences and give advice to the future players. So for those that are coming up, for those that are trying to come up, he'll be giving advice to those future players, which I'm very excited about him being able to do that. So very much looking forward to the conversation that will be coming out of this here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora this morning, as we are joined by Syracuse and NFL alum Shamarko Thomas, who will give advice to players, give advice to the future players that are coming up, and just what he can tell them about his experience in the NFL, what he thinks, and moving forward. So I'm really very much looking forward to this opportunity to share the stage with Shamarko Thomas, as he will be talking about what it means, how to get into the NFL, what it means to be in the NFL, and what he did to really last in the NFL. So he'll be giving advice, which is going to mean a lot to the players that are trying to make it. The current players, the future players. It's going to be very valued advice, which I'm very much looking forward to, and always appreciates Shamarko being a part of the show. So a lot of great stuff coming up where sports meets life on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, and I can't wait to speak with Shamarko about this. So very much looking forward to having him on the show, and always love every time that we get to sit and talk with one another. It's a beautiful thing when we get the opportunity to do it. So I'm very, very much looking forward to doing that with him today at 10:15 a.m. Eastern Time. And then we'll round out today's show with the ingredients to success, proudly presented by Avicolli's on the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road in Liverpool, New York. So I'm very, very much in love that, we get to create the topic for today, and once that topic is created, we'll give the ingredients to success for that topic. So looking forward to doing that as well. And just thank you for being a part of the show. It really does mean a lot that you spend your mornings with us here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. Tell your family, friends, coworkers, and colleagues to get in touch with us, and definitely appreciate, by the grace of God, that we are able to get out to so many people and do so many different things. So very, very much thankful to you for all of that and everything that you do. This week is going to be awesome. We have some really, really great guests coming up, some awesome stuff that we are going to be doing, and of course our segments that we always have. So we're looking forward to bringing that to you here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, as there's a lot of things going on, and there's things to discuss. We talked about the NBA yesterday on the show, and just kind of where the NBA is at as it goes into the playoffs, and how half of the teams that weren't supposed to win by their seeding, the lower seeds, half of them get in, and then looking at or half of them win that weren't supposed to win based on their seeding, and then the other half that were supposed to take care of business took care of business, and now these teams are getting into their second games. Denver tied their series 1-1. Milwaukee is leading their series 2-0 over Miami. But I did want to also take a look at the NHL really quick here, because we haven't spent a lot, we really haven't talked about the NHL and what's going on in the NHL as they're also making it happen here. So the Islanders facing off against the Penguins, and the Islanders won in double overtime. Right now the Islanders lead their series 3-2. Toronto at Montreal. Toronto leads the series 2-1. Tampa leads their series against Florida 3-2. Edmonton fell to Winnipeg. Winnipeg won their series 4-0, swept Edmonton. Edmonton forced it to 3 overtimes, gave it all they had in their last possible ditch effort to keep the series alive. They lost 4-3 in 3 overtimes, as Winnipeg will move on. And Vegas leads their series over Minnesota 3-2. So just notables there on what's going on, and then we'll see how these move forward as we go from here. So today we have Toronto playing at Montreal, and we have Nashville playing at Carolina. That series is tied 2-2, Nashville at Carolina, and then we'll move on from here and see what can happen. But the New York Islanders, I went by their stadium yesterday that's being built currently right now, their arena, and it's huge. It's massive. It looks like an old college or university building. It's pretty incredible to see it, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing a game in there. So shout out to the Islanders, who will have a beautiful new home very, very soon. So yeah, NHL in full swing. Baseball for Oswego State, NCAA, is going on this week. So we got baseball going on in the MLB regular season. We have postseason baseball in college. We have the NBA postseason. We have the NHL postseason. We have the schedule coming together for Syracuse Orange men's basketball. There's a lot of things happening, and in the communities all across the country, including in our community of Central and Upstate New York. So very much looking forward to bringing all of this to you as we continue to rock and roll. And I thank you so much for being a part of the show here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. So thank you for tuning in this morning, and thank you for hanging out here with us where sports meets life. We'll take a step aside, and when we come back, Mr. Landers will be joining the show right after this.
Carvel DeWitt, it's what happy tastes like. Do you know why? Because we make ice cream. Creamy, rich, flavorful ice cream. Not yogurt or iced milk like some of our competitors. Ice cream. Fresh, by hand, daily. For the calorie conscious, we have something new for you. Our new Carvelite. Same great flavor, creaminess, and texture of our regular ice cream with only 35 calories an ounce. So whether you want an ice cream cake, flying saucer, dasher, carvalanche, hard or soft ice cream, we will satisfy your craving with our fresh, handmade regular or new Carvelite ice cream. Carvel DeWitt. It's what happy tastes like.
Cafe Cabal offers same-day local delivery of our products, offering no delivery charge for Onondaga County. Shop cafecabal.com for fresh roasted coffee beans, cold brew, travel mugs, and all your essential Cafe Cabal needs. Cafe Cabal, coffee for the soul.
Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is located on 3680 Milton Avenue in the Home Depot Plaza. It is your family-friendly sports bar and restaurant. Folks, some sports bars aren't family-friendly. Some family-friendly restaurants are not sports bars. The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is proud to be both. It is that marriage that you've been looking for years. The Wildcat Sports Pub is your home base for your sports bar and restaurant needs, games for the kids, indoor and outdoor activities, and enough things on the menu to come back every single week and get to try something new. They're open Sundays from noon to 8 p.m., Monday through Wednesday, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., and Thursday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to midnight. For reservations and party information, call 315-487-2222 for the Wildcat family-friendly sports pub and restaurant. Welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora on wakeupcalldt.com, your one-stop sports shop, and on mixlr.com/wakeupcalldt. I already know what my annoying moment of the week's going to be because it happened during the break that we had here, the fast break. So thank you so much for tuning into the broadcast here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, wakeupcalldt.com, as well as mixlr.com/wakeupcalldt, and on facebook.com/WakeUpCallDT, facebook.com/LiveNowDT, and on youtube.com/WakeUpCallDT. Plenty of ways to listen and to watch every Monday through Friday live from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time. And I'm proud, inside of MonPazPopcorn.com's What's Poppin', to welcome our first guest of today's broadcast, and that is Scott Landers. Scott being the head baseball coach of the Oswego State Lakers team, who is now moving on to their sixth straight trip to the postseason, which is an honor and a blessing and awesome. So I'm very, very happy to be able to welcome him to the show as we will celebrate 6 straight years of making a bid here to go after a championship. So with that being said, let's bring in Scott. Scott, how you doing today?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me, Dan.
Absolutely. And you and I mean, we've gotten to do a lot of things over time, and you know, we've been able to do some video, do some audio, go out together and be live on site on location. So I haven't seen you in a bit. I haven't seen you, during these Rona times. So how have you been?
I've been great, doing well. Just hanging out with my kids and my team and trying to get back to normal. But it has been a while.
Yeah.
The virus has kind of put a damper on some things and people I've seen, but let's hope it keeps going in the right direction and we get back to normal real quick.
Yeah, it's definitely been a minute to, of spending some time with you and being able to, just kind of sit and talk. So I think, you need to, obviously go win a national championship, and then you and I can hang out.
We're going to try. Hopefully we have the team to do it.
Yeah, and let's discuss this year's team. So for those that know and for some that maybe don't know, how would you define this year's team as you get set for the postseason this week?
Resilient, confident. I think we're in a good place right now. I give them a lot of credit. I mean, they're 18 to 22, 23-year-old athletes, and came out of a pandemic where they didn't have a normal life and they didn't have what they love to do. So they didn't really have any direction. So, for them to start up on February 25th after a full year off and get to where we are without making any excuses. I mean, it's been a tough road for them. We've had a lot of barriers to overcome, as well as anybody else has, but New York has honestly made it very, very tough, and they didn't make excuses for anything. They just did what they had to do and and took it in stride, tried to get back to as normal as possible. And here we are, so I applaud them a lot. And they've done wonders without anything to me. There's no excuses that they've made. And I think over the last month and a half, it's really, other than the testing, so frequently, it's been fairly normal.
Yeah, and going through, the testing and everything that has to be done, like you said, New York State's being very stringent and being very kind of slow at times to bring some things forward. What has the testing atmosphere been like, and what have you had to go through this season to follow protocol, so to speak?
It's been a pain, but you just have to do what you got to do, stay on the field, and, you tell them to be as cautious as possible. Now with the vaccines and most of them getting vaccinated, it helps, even though they still have to test. It's been better. It's a little easier. And, other than that, wear a mask and just do what we do. Don't ask questions, don't make excuses, and just go about your business. They've done all right, but when you have, with all these things, for me, it's been tough. It's been tough you got to coordinate, whether it's seating charts on a bus or, testing on this day and getting results here. It's just, having these extra masks, and you have these protocols at this field and not this field, so it has been tough. But whatever's put in front of us, we just say do it and go play baseball.
Yeah, and I think for you as a coach, I mean, coaches all over the world didn't anticipate this to be, for you to essentially have to be like an extension of being a doctor. You know what I mean? Like in a way, for you to have to, like you said, have these masks and seating and all this stuff. I mean, I think the thing is, you do what you have to do, and I commend all the coaches out there because, you do whatever you can to get on the field in the courts of life. But it is a lot on you, and it's not that you're not already busy, that you have to think about all these other things. So how have you navigated that? Being a coach that's watching film and scouting and making sure that you have workout regimens for everybody and, obviously going to practice and doing all of the things that you need to do and you're supposed to do. And then on top of that, having to remember all of these other things to do. I mean, I think people don't fully understand that coaches don't just coach the game. Coaches are coaching 24/7. And on top of that, you have to now do all these other things and remembering masks and seating charts and schedule of getting shots or vaccination, whatever it may be, and like making sure they're getting checked and making sure that this player has what they need. Like these are things that you would never have to think of before, and you already have a schedule that most head coaches would tell you 3 or 4 people need to do, but one person's doing it. So how have you navigated adding things into a schedule that already doesn't always feel like it has time?
It's been, I think every coach that's listening understands it, and it is a different world for me. Coaching this year has been completely different than coaching any other year. And I love it because we're back on the field, but it's not the same. Even the facilities being closed and, we can't do weightlifting here, or our normal routine is not in place. Our normal culture is not in place. Those things, it's almost like, okay, let's just go practice for, 2.5 hours, and then I got to do all these other things. You have to be really organized with the testing and the extra stuff that's put on your plate, but the coaching aspect of it is very different. We didn't have time to put our culture in. I didn't have time to really create a relationship with these young guys and know them. You know, I was talking to a freshman yesterday as I was making a travel list, and I was just talking to him about how my view on him was completely different 2 months ago, because I didn't have that in August. I didn't have that in September. It's just kind of knowing these guys on the run, because before it was just Zoom calls, and that's how you knew them. You didn't have any contact with them. So it's completely different, you know, and I don't think it's any more busy. I just think it's a different busy.
Yeah, you know, and well, I mean, and that's a good thing. Like you said, you don't feel that it's more busy, but it's a different busy. And, you know, it's gotten all of us to have to, you know, in some way, shape, or form, change things up a little bit. What's been the most difficult thing for you, either on the field or off the field, in this past year and a half?
I would say relationships. You know, that's the tough thing. And, you know, and I'm just talking baseball-wise right now, not being with them. You know, I go to my office, and it's silent. You know, so you're doing those things, and usually I have athlete after athlete coming in, or other teams using the weight room. So it's always busy, or other coaches, and it wasn't like that. You know, it's work remote if you don't have to be in the office, and the athletes weren't allowed to be in our building. So it was very, honestly, boring. It's not really my style. I like people around, whether I'm busy or I'm not busy, and just being able to have a relationship with a lot of people, not just the student athletes.
Yeah, you know, and those relationships, and like people think, you know, you go back, they think that you have that, but you don't, because you can't do normal things. How have you felt for the kids, speaking here with Scott Landers, Oswego State Lakers head baseball coach, for, you know, the fact that student athletes don't have a life like other people. They don't have the time like other people on a normal basis. But then to take it one step further and say that, you know, this season and this past year, they really don't have any type of a life because they're not supposed to be around anybody that's outside of their bubble, so to speak. So you're telling these kids, basically don't date, don't go to parties, don't go out, don't do anything, just play baseball, go to school, and that's it. How have you relayed the message to them, and what can you say you feel for them, knowing that you, like many people in this world, like myself, had a college experience that student athletes already don't feel like they get the full effect of it, and now essentially in a lot of cases they've gotten no effect of it and can't have any type of a college experience. So what have you said to them about that, and what can you say about how you feel for them in that type of situation?
You know, our guys have to be cautious, and we talk about it and do the right things to not jeopardize not just themselves, but our team. And they understand that. I feel for not just our guys, but more just a normal student, or just a normal student. You know, at least my guys now have baseball to fall back on, and theirs is getting a little more normal. But these other students that haven't had anything and being in the dorms, and it's almost, I equated it to being really in jail. Like, it's tough, and it's not the school's fault. It's just the times and the virus's fault and what they've had to deal with. And I feel for them, as I feel for most people in society, and it's been a tough go. Like I always say, college, I want this to be the best 4 years of my guys' lives. And it was for me, more than 4 years, actually. So I feel for them, because it is not a good college experience. It's not in the classroom. It's not on the baseball field. It's not socially, so it's tough. And, like I tell them, just keep trucking, keep your head up and move forward as much as we can, really. Yeah,
and to stay positive through this all. Have you stayed positive, through the gamut of this? Have you had your moments? I mean, how has it been for you?
I mean, when you talk coaching, I've had to really sit back and dissect how I coach.
Yeah.
And really understand. I'm not going to say I don't yell, because I do. But the demand I put on these student athletes is a lot, and you have to. Just like every other coach, when you want a national championship and you want a championship team, and I want them to do the right things off the field. So there's a lot of venom sometimes that comes out of me, and I really had to sit back and talk to other coaches who are going through the same thing. And these kids have been through so much, and I can't expect them to be perfect, and I can't expect them to do the right. They've been in, like I said, jail for a year, and to just get back on the field and play baseball and get back on the right road to normalcy, that's how we had to start. And it's not, there can't be a lot of yelling. There has to be a lot of teaching and a lot of laughs. And so that's what I tried to do. Now that we're at the point that we are at, I would say the frustrations come out of me a little more. The demands come out of me a little more. But that's what I took from this. And just, I got to be there for these guys. They do not need me yelling at them, day 3 of practice when they just came out of what they did.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like you said, you have to kind of ad lib. You have to learn how to, be a little bit different than you normally are, because they've been through so much, and you want to, bring them back to some fun again and whatnot. So, how has it been not to yell as much?
Pretty good on my blood pressure, I think. But,
yeah. So some fun again and whatnot. So
it makes you learn some different ways to communicate with them, and which you always do as coaches anyway. You evolve with the times and how to interact with the student athlete today compared to 10 years ago or even 5 years ago. So I think it's a good thing. I think Zoom calls and all this stuff that we had to navigate through has helped coaching. Now it's just a different way to communicate through recruiting and meetings with your team, going through some stuff. We could not have what we call classroom time every day, and with our notebooks, which is baseball stuff, which is personal stuff. And, we have to do that on Zoom calls. So I think it's honestly evolved coaches, with technology to now we can use things differently and how we coach.
Yeah, and like you said, the technologies, the Zoom calls and everything. Have you mastered the Zoom? I mean, I know some coaches have tried. Do you know, not to be in the bathroom when you're on the call, not to be, eating? I mean, what have you done with Zoom?
Well, first of all, I need somebody else to set it up for me, the meetings. But, yeah, I mean, it's different. You really figure out when to use the video, when not to use the video, when to use the audio, when not to use the audio. But I think it's been good. And for dinosaurs like myself with technology, it's kind of made you learn some different ways, and you had to. I mean, you had no other thing you could do, really. You had no other options. So it's been good.
Yeah, and it's definitely taught us a lot, and it's kept us together through this process. You are the father of 2, and obviously you have a family. What has family life been like for you, and how would you describe the home of the Landers during this beautiful thing? Are we playing board games? Are we driving each other crazy? Are we playing games outside? What are you cooking more? What's happening out there?
I wouldn't say I'm a cook.
Okay.
I would, they're 7 and 6, and they're doing well, and they're on the computer more because of this, and they had their Zoom. Thankfully, my kids have been in school the whole year, 5 days a week, in kindergarten and second grade. So that's been a blessing. But, they're busy with lacrosse, and they're busy with baseball, and they're busy with gymnastics. So for me, it's leave practice and leave these 40 guys and go just be a dad. And I think that's the biggest thing for people in our profession. It's made them learn the importance of being around for your kids and just being there with them. And I think it's hurt our profession a little bit, because sometimes, you talk to these coaches and we're on the run and we're recruiting, or there's late nights at the office. And I think they've realized what they've missed at times at home. And sometimes you got to sit back and be like, whoa, like, is it worth it? And I think that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, and trying to figure all this out. But you get your season, you play your season. We're here now, and the reality of the fact that you're moving forward is fantastic. But the fact that you even got to have a season, and bring me into that. I mean, you guys have gotten to play 29 games, so the fact that spring sports had life just from last year to this year when it came to your sport. What have you taken away from, having life taken away from you? And because to a lot of people, to sports, that's their life. That's their lifeblood. So from last year to what you've had this year, just what you can say about, having something taken away, not knowing if something was going to be taken away, not knowing what it was going to look like, just how you've handled that.
I think before I get into that, and I think for every coach and for every player, a year off is tough with what we just went through, in any sport or, any human being. But when you're in sports, I really think people have lost their desire at times and their edge to be great. When you do not have it for that long, and I saw it with myself and just getting back into it. It's like, thank God I have baseball again. But it took time for me to get back into coaching and really finding that edge that I had before. I'm not going to lie. And I know that is for the student athletes, it's the same thing. In the high school athletes, it's the same thing. Like, you have seen life in a different way for so long, and now you got to turn it back on again. And it takes a while. And luckily for me, my guys got through that, and I got through that, and we're right back to being competitive. But it was tough. I mean, we were throwing every obstacle possible, and then we even had to start late. So once you're throwing back into it, I mean, think about the differences. We are playing double headers every day that we play. Those are 7-hour days on the field, and we have no overnights until now. So you're leaving for New Paltz. I mean, I left my house for New Paltz at 5:15 in the morning and walked back in my door at 1:30 in the morning. So that's a long day for these guys and for myself. And, it's tough, but they didn't complain, and you don't complain about it because the light at the end of the tunnel is getting better and better, and it's getting brighter and brighter. And we're just, like I tell them, be thankful for what we have. Don't worry about what we don't have right now, and it's going to keep evolving into better things. Even spectators at the game, it's getting more and more. I was talking to a parent the other day, like, I don't want anybody, yelling about what's happened in the past, because we have the opportunity to have 2 people per kid or 3 people per kid, and they're giving us more and more. So look forward rather than backwards, and just, cherish what we have now and what we're going to have later on.
Yeah, and I think that's huge, and I think that's extremely important to, focus on the now, focus on, what's going on and appreciate it, because, we're creatures of habit, right? So when everything gets taken away and the habits change, then they miss it. But when it all comes back, you don't want people to not appreciate it again. Do you feel like, after playing 29 games, do you feel that people are still appreciating being out there, remembering what wasn't there before? Are we trending in the right direction?
We are. We've gotten back to, like I said, more normalcy, and I remind them every day that how it can be taken away from them in an instant. And it was. March 13th, we are ready to go to South Carolina, and it's done. Last spring, we're done. So it was taken away for 365 days. And there can be a lot of different ways it can be taken from you, whether it's tragedy or injury or, just certain things. So don't take it for granted. And we have the ability to be back on the field now and just play. And like I always say, have fun. We want to compete and we want to win, and just have fun with each other and the time that you have with this great game of baseball.
Yeah, and make the most of everything that you got. So through these 29 games, what did you see from this team in the growth? 24-5 is a fantastic record, 14-2 in conference. You're 15-1 at home, 9-4 on the road. Just, what you could say about how the team has come through this season, because looking at it, just brass tacks and staring at, the numbers across the board here, it looks like you had, and I know you want to be 29-0, but I look at this, I look at what you've done up to this point, and I would say that it's a beautiful thing to be at this position of what you have, and on top of that, to do it, during all this going on with the pandemic. But how do you see this season as you step into the postseason?
Growth. Like I said before, resiliency and really working hard, but growth. The growth that we would have as a team, individually, that we would do from August until February, we didn't have. So I see that, and just get better every day, because we're not there. We're not even close to being where we would be in the past. So we won a game, but we have to get better, because that's not good enough for the end of the year. So that's what I've seen. I've seen them grow as a unit with our culture, and I've seen them grow on the field, just physically, and getting better and faster with the game of baseball. Our guys, even our best guys, that are supposed to be elite and great players, we're a step behind those first couple weeks. And I'm shaking my head. But you got to sit back and you got to understand, they did not have this game for a year. So everybody's behind, so that's what I would say, just keep growing as a baseball player, keep growing as an individual, and get back to what we can, honestly, just control what we can control. And I think we've done that.
Yeah, and having that, when you look at pitching, when you look at hitting, when you look at where this team is, where has this team grown on the mound, and where have they grown in scoring runs and having that ability to bring the offense to it? What have you seen out of that respect more specifically?
Offensively, we're top 5 in the country, and just in most categories. We have really had to grow on the mound, and that's my fault. It really is. We put some philosophies in place, I think, that we weren't ready for, especially when we didn't have any time to implement them. And when you're not throwing and you do not think you have a season, it takes a while to ramp that arm up. So I think we were way behind on the mound when we started. And that, again, it goes back to me. I was trying to be very transparent with the student athletes through the times, and I didn't think we were going to play. So I was not going to hold that back from them. Should you come back to school? Should you not come back to school? There were a lot of decisions they had to make. So for me to be transparent was only right. And they didn't think we were playing. So they were not ready to go. And again, I'll take that blame, but we've had to grow on the run, on the mound. And you can see that in the stats. We didn't pitch very well against Cortland this weekend, but up to that point, we have grown immensely, and we have trended in the right direction on the mound and in the field. We started off defensively not very good, a little shaky, and we've gotten better and better and better.
So for you, Scott, I mean, to look at this, like we said off the air when you and I were talking, you talked about kind of, a little bit of a different way of getting into the postseason, but you get in. For those that don't know, the postseason has changed some things this year. Due to COVID-19, NCAA baseball tournament was reduced from 58 to 48 teams. So to make it to the postseason for the sixth straight year, but to do it with 10 less teams, what does that mean to you, and what can you say about that when it was reduced from 58 to 48 schools advancing to the postseason, the fact that you still got in?
It makes me extremely excited and happy. We, in the body of work that we've done with less, it's a little, in a normal year, I don't have to worry, Sunday night because we didn't win the SUNYAC championship. I mean, we're in. When there's only 6 at-large bids out there, now you start to wonder. And these teams in the South and these teams in, other regions played 40-some games. They were allowed to, play more than us. So 24-5 doesn't look, I mean, it's great winning percentage, but sometimes it doesn't look as sexy on paper when you only have that many games played. So it was a little more nerve-wracking, but at the end of the day, I thought our body of work would, we played a tough schedule. When you got Cortland and Brockport this year, and we wanted to play Fisher and Rochester, we took our limitations and maxed them as best we could. So, when you're matching up teams in different regions, I was only hoping they would look at certain criteria because a lot of stuff was out of our control. We just could do what we were dealt some cards and we played them. So, and luckily it worked out for us.
Yeah, and you got to move forward into the postseason, which is going to be a little bit different in obviously with COVID-19, and not only from 58 to 48 teams, but instead of this regional, super regional format that was brought about in 2019, we're now going to 6-team regionals, and there's 8 different regions. So do you like the 8 regions, 6-team regionals? I mean, obviously them having to make an adjustment this year. What do you think about it from that respect, with each of the regional winners advancing forward?
Yeah, I mean, we went to the World Series with this format 2 years in a row, so we're pretty familiar with it. I like it. I do like the new format with the regionals, super regionals. You have to be deep in pitching when it comes to these formats with an 8-team regional or a 6-team regional, because you're going to go deep. And if you're going to come out of a loser's bracket, you have to have a lot of pitching. So the deeper teams on the mound, and I don't know if we're deeper this year. If you look at the numbers, I have a lot of confidence in the 13 pitchers that we're going to take. But we're used to it. We are used to throwing guys out there on the mound that maybe haven't had a chance to pitch as much because we've had to. And we're in the North. It's a different time, but when you're in the Northeast, you have to play a lot of games in a short period of time. So you have to rely on a lot more arms than teams, for instance, in the South. So I think we're ready.
Yeah.
we've been in a 6-team when we were at OCC, when we made that run. I think it was 3 years ago. Or 4 years ago now. That was a 6-team regional. So we know how to kind of navigate through it, hopefully, and hope the decisions we make are on point.
Yeah, and there's other teams that have made it from, around the area. We have SUNY Cortland in here, as well as St. John Fisher and Rochester, some other schools I know like Keystone and Scranton and whatnot. What can you say about some of the other teams around the area that have advanced forward as well and will be playing in other regionals?
First I want to wish them best of luck. They're great teams. And I was just talking to one of the other coaches. It would be nice to have just a New York regional, especially this year in COVID times, because number one, they would get a lot of spectators because they haven't had the ability, these parents haven't had the ability to come. But if you look at the numbers, Cortland, us, Rochester, St. John Fisher, those are 4. And then if Keystone is coming, those are 5 of the top probably 10 offenses in the country. So it would have been an exciting battle offensively, and more football scores probably than baseball scores. But those guys have done the same thing. I talked to all of those coaches a number of times, and it's just move forward and do what you can do. And I applaud them the same way I applaud our guys. Like, they did their work and they just kept trucking forward. And honestly, I just want to wish them the best of luck.
Speaking here with Scott Landers, Oswego State Lakers head baseball coach. Before I let you go here, taking a look at the fact in 2017 and 18, you made the World Series, as you had spoken about, the Division III World Series 2 years in a row, and not too long ago. What does this team have inside of them at this point? Can you see it? Can you envision it? I know that no coach goes out there to lose, so I'm not asking you do you think you can do it? Because obviously you're out there to do it. But knowing what it takes to do it, what does this team's dynamic have?
I mean, when you can score runs like we can, and you can get hot with the bats at any point, and I think our offense is very creative and can create a lot of turmoil for other people. We can do it a lot of different ways. I think you have a chance. I think if we pitch well, like we're capable of, I would say yes. The biggest thing, that I think this team has that those World Series teams had was a tough, and they know what's at stake, and they know how to move forward, win, lose, or draw. So do I think we have the ability to make a World Series? Absolutely. I think we got a good draw going to New England, and I think it's very winnable to get to Cedar Rapids.
I love hearing that, and I think that I'm just happy. I'm happy that we're talking about baseball. I mean, like you said, the thought of it's not going to happen. How do you prepare for life when it's like, hey, you may not have a season, but if you do have a season, here's all the things you need to do. I mean, how do you handle all of that? How did you handle all of the, knowing in the back of your mind, I could be doing all of I don't want to say doing all this for nothing, but that's how some people feel, that maybe they're doing all of this for nothing and that it's not going to work out the way that they want it to work out. How did you get through all of that? Did you ever have days where you're like, I could be putting in 16 hours today and the season doesn't even happen, or it happens differently? How did you handle that?
Honestly, like I said, I didn't think we were going to have a season, so I was a little behind. I didn't prepare all that. So once we got the okay, it was, okay, we got to put this thing in fast forward and get it going. So I don't think it's for nothing, because, like I said, when you're an athlete or you're a coach, that is your life. And to get it back and understand that, I think you're just thankful. You're thankful. And, you know, I love my kids to death, and want to be them. And I don't want to miss a baseball game or any of that. But I think any parent out there knows, like, I'll tell you what, I applaud the stay-at-home parent, because at times I just wanted to scream and get out of the house. You know, but getting back, you know, like I said before, you're coaching, you're thankful. Your coaching is a little different, and you just want to be with the guys and enjoy baseball and enjoy them with their relationships. And I don't think there would be any, if we didn't make it, there's no regrets. You know, we're doing what we love to do. But, you know, like I said, there came a time where, okay, I'm coaching in a COVID era, and this is how I'm going to do it. And then it really kind of switched gears for myself and for the players. Like, okay, it's go time. Now we're going to roll, and we're going to roll the right way. And truthfully, for these guys, they're not using a year of eligibility, so they're playing with house money. So, you know, if you're a gambling person, I don't think it's for good. Nothing. I mean, because this is a year that it's go time. You know, now it's an extra one. Now we're going to roll. They get a year back, so they're just happy to have it. And like I said, it's house money, and let's go do what we can do.
Yeah, you know, going after a World Series with house money, nothing wrong with that. Taking a look at, your first matchup, what can you tell us? This Thursday, May 27th, is when you'll be in action at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Bring me into that game, who you're going up against, and what it looks like for you.
Honestly, we're playing Husson, and I don't know anything about him right now. By the end of the day, I will. But, you know, when you get a call at midnight saying you're in, and then you got to turn around Monday and do all the other stuff with travel and meetings with all the other coaches and administrators, and, you know, all transportation, it kind of and then you got to, you know, go down to your 25-man roster, which is very, very tough as a coach, which is the toughest thing I think you have to do as a coach. You know, there's a lot of hard decisions you have to make in my seat, and that's the toughest, because if I have to cut somebody, I don't have a relationship with that student athlete, so honestly I don't care. But when you have to cut down guys that you love to death and have relationships with, that's a really tough thing to do, and you got to get them in front of you and tell them the bad news, you know, and it's hard. It really is. And like I say to them, like, I don't want to do it. I wish I could suit up everybody and get everybody there, but I can't. And my job is to, you know, do what's right for our program and for the 40 guys in the room. And so it's going to take hard decisions. So I got to do what I have to do to make the World Series. So that was yesterday, and today it's just going to be, okay, let's get the odds and ends shirt up, and then we're going to do our scouting reports. But Husson's out of Maine. You know, they just won their championship. That's about all I know. We'll probably be a left-hander first game. But by the end of the day, I'll know a lot more about them.
So that coming up for Scott Landers and Oswego State Lakers baseball, the head baseball coach here with us. Looking at Major League Baseball, have you gotten to, I mean, obviously you're in the thick of things with your season, but have you gotten to see anything? Is there anything that excites you? Any thoughts on your mind of maybe what's going on in the majors?
Honestly, I haven't watched it all that much, just with how busy I've been. And typically on a day off, I'll watch a college game before I'll watch a big league game. But no, I'm a Met fan, and, you know, I don't know what they are right now, 21-20, somehow scraping in somewhere at the top of the NL East.
Yeah.
But I'm still a little disappointed in them because they should be a lot better. They probably paid Lindor too.
I'm not putting you on the hot seat. I'm only putting myself on the hot seat. You can ask me any 3 questions you want to ask me. I have to answer them. And just remember that I'll see you sometime soon, so be gentle when you do it.
Oh, you're going to put me on the spot with questions.
Yeah, you can ask me any 3. This should be easy for you because you don't have to answer a dang thing here. You just got to come up with 3.
How about you ask me 3 and I'll come up with them?
All right. Oh, so you're
good at that part.
All right. So he's going to let me be off the hot seat. All right, fine. We'll ad-lib that. All right, Mr. Landers. What do you consider to be your greatest achievement in your life up to this point?
Greatest achievement professionally, I would say, obviously making the World Series and just having the teams that I've been blessed to have here and the relationships I've had. Here you go. And truthfully, working with great mentors through my time in this world. Overall, my kids. You know, that's my pride and joy. I love those 2 to death. You know, so I would say those are the biggest things.
Okay, fair enough. Worst vacation memory you've ever had, like the worst trip you've ever taken?
Oh, man. I don't know if I've had a bad one.
Okay.
Honestly. They've all been great.
So
Thank
give me the best one then. Give me the best one in that respect.
I've been a lot of places in the United States. I'm a big beach guy. You know, I love going to the Cape and coaching. You know, it gives me the professional side of it. It's a vacation really for my kids and my family. And, you know, I can go to the beach during the day and I can go coach at night. I honestly, I really like the Dominican. Dominican is awesome. The people are great. The resort that I was at was great, and it was a good time. I would say my next journey, I really want to go to Europe.
Okay.
You know, to somewhere like Ireland, or I want to go to Alaska.
Okay, I like that. I want to go to Europe as well as Alaska, so I can be with you on that. My last question for you is about you and I. Favorite part of our bond that we've had over the years, favorite thing about the connection we have?
Oh, man. I felt like it's been an eternity since we've been together.
I know.
Honestly, just the relationship that we have come to have, really. You know, the laughs that we can have, but just how it's growing through your business and your talk show. It just gets me in a little different place, you know. So with that, I would say just being able to sit down and talk and, you know, sometimes baseball, sometimes life, I do appreciate that.
Well, I thank you for that. And you have my word that we will make sure that we do more of it now that we can. So we'll definitely do some cool things out here. And I got some ideas, some stuff that we can do, Mr. Landers. So we'll figure it out. But for the laughs, for all the positivity that are to come, and for the games that are to come, I want to wish you and hope for you and pray for you safe travels, and that all goes well with these games. You know that I'll be locked in and watching. I'll have you on the show if you'll oblige me to do that as we go through this tournament, and hope that we can continue to have good news and positive things coming forward. But I hope you all travel safe. I hope you play incredible games, and I'll definitely be in touch with you no matter what happens.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
All right. Well, listen, take care of yourself and do what you got to do to get this team ready, and do your research today. Do your homework, all right?
We got a couple days, so I just want to thank you for having me on. For the people who are listening. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And Scott, as always, I appreciate everything you're doing for Oswego State and for our community and for baseball in general. So thank you, and please say hi to the family for me, and I'll look forward to talking with you soon.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Take care. That coming from Scott. You too. That coming from Scott Landers here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports meets that thing called life. So definitely appreciate having Mr. Landers here on the broadcast, and always it means a lot to me that these relationships that you try to form here mean a lot to other people, because obviously this means something to me, and I feel very, very honored to have this. To have this connection and to have this bond that we have, and it just means a lot to me. Scott he's good people. We've had the blessing of being able to work together and really make the most of it. So to be able to work together and to talk with one another and to build the connection that we have, it goes such a long way. And I feel very privileged to have it. So I want to tell thank you to Scott again. We'll take a step aside for a fast break. When we come back, Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora has plenty more coming up today, including Shamarko Thomas live in just a few minutes.
Avicolli's restaurant, located right at the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road, is proud to be your local neighbor, growing with you for over 20 years. We're open 7 days a week for lunch, dinner, and drinks. For takeout, delivery, or catering, call us at 315-622-5100. When you order online and use our promo code AVS10, you will save 10% on your online purchase at myavicollis.com. And make sure to join us monthly for our live on-site broadcasts centered around Liverpool athletics. Avicolli's, your local, trusted neighbor right at the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road.
Having peace of mind when you're out of town that your furry-loving friend is safe and sound means taking them to Canine Campground, because we all know that when it comes to the love of our pets, it goes well beyond the call of duty to make sure they're safe and sound. Right, Lily? So take a ride to 242 Johnson Street in East Syracuse, New York, and see Canine Campground and where your dog will be staying in the classic cabin, the executive cabin, the grand cabin, or of course the luxury cabin, because if you know Lily, you know she loves luxury. Now you don't have to wait to the last minute to find a family member or a friend that'll take your dog for a few days. Call Canine Campground at 315-299-4013. That's 315-299-4013. Their drop-off and pickup times are Monday through Sunday. Check K9campground.com for more information. That's the letter K, the number 9, and campground spelled with a K.com. K9campground.com.
When you're going out of town, bring your dog to Canine Campground.
Welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora on wakeupcalldt.com, your one-stop sports shop, and on mixlr.com/wakeupcalldt, as well as on facebook.com/wakeupcalldt, facebook.com/livenowdt, and on youtube.com/wakeupcalldt. Plenty of ways to connect with the show on all of those live pieces every single Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time inside the Cafe Kubal Studios. Cafe Kubal open for you on 3501 James Street, 324 West Water Street, 208 North Townsend Street, where Kubal Co-works is also there for your podcast broadcasting needs in their podcasting headquarters, as well as to rent out space for your business to hold your meetings. If you need a place outside of your home, you're just looking for a location or a secondary location or wherever it may be, you can rent out space at Kubal Co-works and have that in connection to the cafe, which is right there with it, as well as go into their cafe on 401 South Salina Street, all in Syracuse, and inside of Golisano's Children's Hospital, as well as out in Manlius on 343 Fayette Street in Manlius, New York. So, thanks to Cafe Kubal for filling our cups with the iced, the hot, and all the stuff we love every single day of the week. Much appreciation for Cafe Kubal, and a thanks to all of our companies that are here with us in this beautiful community of Central and Upstate New York. Scott Landers joining us today on the show, and Husson playing up against them. I think I said Houston earlier, so my apologies on that. But Husson, Thursday, May 27th, will face off against Oswego State, and that game will be at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time. When I get the link and the information to that, I'll make sure I send it to you. So if you can watch it online, I'll make sure that we'll do everything we can for you to watch it. If Oswego State is to win, they will play on Friday, May 28th at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. If they were to lose, then they would play at 11 a.m. on Friday, May 28th. And then we have to go from there and see the regional go all the way through. And the regionals are going to be the one that they are in as far as Oswego State is in the Hartford, Connecticut regional, and the other regionals are in Auburn, New York, Marietta, Ohio, as well as High Point, North Carolina, Decatur, Illinois, Collegeville, Minnesota, St. Paul, Minnesota, and Whitewater, Wisconsin is where all of the regionals are being held this year. And we'll see how we go from here, but hopefully Oswego State will carry it on through for the community, and as they do that, we'll see them evolve and move forward, hopefully, toward another bid to the World Series, which they got to go to in 2017 and 18. With that being stated, we're going to take a quick step aside for a fast break. When we come back, Shamarko Thomas will be joining Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora live with a message to current and future players hoping to be in the NFL and beyond. We'll hear what they have to say we'll hear what he has to say about his advice to them right after this. In these unique times, there are those in our community that give us a sense of normalcy and positivity. Pizza Man on 50 Oswego Street in Baldwinsville has been here for you for over 35 years and is here now. Call 315-638-1234 or order online at pizzamanbville.com to bring those familiar tastes into your home. And remember to come see our monthly on-site broadcasts centered around the community and our Baldwinsville Bees. Pizza Man in Baldwinsville. Any way you slice it, they are always here for you.
I'm George Townsend of Honda City with some good advice when buying a new car. The true cost of owning a new car is determined by the appraised value when you trade it. No vehicle appraises higher than a Honda. Next, look for low APRs and deep discounts. You also want low maintenance costs and great fuel economy. That's why my advice to you is to buy a new Honda. Looking pre-owned, visit our Honda Certified Used Car Center. Honda City, 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard, Liverpool, or HondaCity-CNY.com.
It would be a pity if you don't shop at Honda City.
This is Jim Sikowski, owner-operator of Chick-fil-A Cicero, 7916 Brewerton Road in Cicero, right in front of the Home Depot. I had a deep feeling that God wanted me to do something bigger with my life and to help people, help others. I kept putting Chick-fil-A in my life, and I realized as I was going through the franchise selection process that positively impacting the lives of others was really core to what we do here at Chick-fil-A. First of all, it starts with the food. The food is brought in fresh daily. We bring in local produce. We prepare to order in the kitchen. We hand butter chicken. We hand spin our milkshakes. It's great food. It doesn't taste like fast food. I think the second thing is the way people feel when they come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. It's different. We try to treat people with intentional kindness here, which is very different and deeper than good customer service. And so I think it feels remarkable for most people to come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. And then lastly, the impact that we try to have in the community is very different. It's a big part of the expectation of every operator of a Chick-fil-A restaurant is that they're actively engaged in their community, they're a leader in the community, and they're making a difference. When they realize that what we're striving to do is to shine a little light in their life, that's a very, very different experience than you will have in any other quick service restaurant. And it's that remarkable experience that I think people will emotionally connect with.
Welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora on wakeupcalldt.com, your one-stop sports shop, and on mixlr.com/wakeupcalldt, where you're listening to live internet streaming radio all over the world. You're watching on video on facebook.com/livenowdt, facebook.com/wakeupcalldt, and on youtube.com/wakeupcalldt as well. So plenty of ways to listen and connect with the show, and we thank you for everybody that does all throughout the week, Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time. And once you do it live, you can always go back to the archives and check out these shows by searching Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora on the many archive opportunities that we have for you on Stitcher, Spotify, MixLR, YouTube, iTunes and Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, and Podbean itself as well. So with all of that being said, the man of hour number 2 here inside the Cafe Kubal Studios is none other than my buddy, somebody that I appreciate, a part of my extended family, and we always have great conversation. You never, ever, ever going to be disappointed with what comes up here, and that is Syracuse Orange and NFL DB alum Shamarko Thomas. More importantly, like I said, a great friend and someone who has constantly inspired me and been there for me and always been one phone call away. So there's a lot to be said about people that are just special, unique, and can't be replaced by anybody else. And Shamarko's one of those people, and so it's my honor to bring him in today. Shamarko, how we doing?
I'm doing well, but you're talking about yourself, man, because truly the words that you sent me when we got off the phone last time, man, it changed my life, you know. And, so all that stuff you were saying about me is you. You know what I'm saying? You're a great friend that keeps me positive, keeps me going through the dark times.
Well, you know, I appreciate that, and I'll do my best to, you know, earn that and be there for you, because you are an incredible human being. And before we go anywhere with this conversation, it's an understatement that you're an incredible human being. I mean, the way you've taken care of your siblings and your own kids, and it's just awesome. I want to ask about the family. How are things going? How's the family doing? What's going on with the family right now? And I know I get to see some videos and, you know, some little handshakes and different things that the little ones are doing and whatnot. So it's pretty cool to see these little personalities. So what's life been like for you?
It's been good, man. My babies are everything, man. They make me smile. They motivate me each and every day, you know. And with family, you know, it comes ups and downs. So, like I said, the brighter side of it is my kids, man. They're my hope, my purpose. That little mustard seed of faith. I mean, when you give up, you look in their eyes and see them wake up in the morning, it makes you go. So, my family's everything. My little brother's doing good. We just finished training together, man. It's just a blessing.
You know, and I think it was Lil Man that you were doing some type of handshake with and a hug and whatnot that I think I might have saw on Instagram or something. How little are you teaching, you know, like your kids, how young are they learning like how to do secret handshakes with dad?
My son was born with it, man. That's my twin. Like honestly, he's my everything. So I've been teaching, that handshake since he was 1 year old, you know. So yeah, I've been teaching my kids handshake just to keep our bond, you know, so they'll never forget that, you know what I'm saying? You know, time don't wait on nobody, so that's the one thing I have things to, the value remember me.
You know, and having that, you know, having that connection and just that family life, you know, I'm not a dad yet, so living vicariously through you, tell me what it's like to be a father.
Truthfully, when I first had my kids, I didn't know how to be a father because I didn't have a father in my life. But now I understand now what's important. You know what I'm saying? Father is important to be in that life, and man, they mean the world to me. Man, like I wouldn't imagine my life without them. You know what I'm saying? I value my kids more than anything. You know, I will feel empty. You know what I'm saying? So I don't even know, man. It gets me emotional when I talk about my kids because at the end of the day, they changed my whole life. They made me the man I am today. You know what I'm saying? They made me focus more. They made me work harder, sacrifice more than I did in college, NFL, anything. You know, I just value them the most out of my life. Like, I feel like they're the only one that's truly love me, genuine.
You know, and that coming here from Shamarko Thomas, Syracuse Orange NFL DB alum, and here with us on the show today with a very special message, as always. Shamarko, like I said, I'm not a dad yet. People in today's world, some people worry, they get concerned. You know, I want to have a bunch of kids, but how do I pay for them? How do I afford to have 3, 4, 5, whatever? What would you say to someone that's worried about the money side of things when it comes to expanding their family?
Money? You talking about just paying for your kids? I don't think about money. Like, when you have kids, it don't matter if you broke or anything, bro. True love is the ultimate meaning. You know what I'm saying? What you can give. My mom didn't have everything, you know what I'm saying, financially. I have 4 brothers. I got 6 of us total. So at the end of the day, the value of love and the bond we shared and all that shit is more than whatever she could have gave us financially. So I feel like if you want these kids and, you know what I'm saying, you stay, we got a home or anything, you know what I'm saying, is ultimately you're going to work harder and push. They're going to be a motivation and get you that financial stability. You know what I'm saying? So do it. I'm not going to say just have kids to have kids, but just, man, if you had kids and you got more than 4 and it's a financial situation, man, don't think about financial situation. Just think about making your kids smile each and every day, man, and doing whatever's best for them.
You know, and you know, you talk about that, like, you know, it's that love and that bond and just that special connection that you have. You know, today's world is so crazy. I have wanted to be a dad my whole life, and even though this world is crazy, I want to be a dad. What do you say to people that worry about having kids in today's world? They're like, oh, you know, maybe I want to have kids, but I don't because the world is too crazy. I don't think, you know, I think if anything, you know, I want to have kids more because of my hope that, you know, I could be a good father and put more sanity into the world. Like, hey, you know, at least my family is going to be positive and good. So what would you say to someone that's you know, maybe I don't want to have kids because this world's just too crazy?
Man, you said it perfectly, man. What happens in your household, you know what I'm saying, that will change the outside. Honestly, people who say that, man, you can't think about the world outside. You think about how you teach your kid. At the end of the day, they're going to represent you stepping out there, and they're going to show others. You know what I'm saying? So, me personally, man, have a kid. You can't worry about the world. It's what you teach your kid. Their values, their standards, you know, their love, their care, you know what I'm saying? And their leadership, because also, like you said, they can teach others, you know what I'm saying, influence others when they get older and stuff. So I feel like what happens in your household ultimately could change the world. Or change, you know what I'm saying? Ultimately, it will affect your kid regardless in life, but if you raise your kid well and strong-minded, you know what I'm saying, lead them by faith and all that stuff, man, you don't got to worry about the stuff outside because they'll be blind to it.
Yeah, you know, and there's so much beauty in your story, you know, of you know, struggling, and I don't want to say struggling, but, you know, like your mom having to do so much on her own, and just family and people passing away, and heartache and adversity. I mean, I would imagine that you know that not every day is promised better than anybody, that you know that time is precious, that you know it's not, you know, I have this belief that being with you know, your significant other, that even on your worst days you love them and you're there with them and you appreciate them, and your worst days are still good days. And, you know, with kids, you know, and heartache and tough times and whatnot, you love them. I have this belief that you don't waste a day, that there's no fight that's bigger than the relationship, that there's no reason to waste time. I believe that, and I truly, you know, promise myself that I will be with someone that will give that. You know, whether she wants to go to the beach and I want to go to the mall and we're disagreeing, like, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, I just want her in my arms and I want to hold her hand and I want to love her and appreciate her. I want to be a good dad. I have that belief. that every single day needs to count and needs to matter. I would imagine that everything you've been through, that you live that way.
Yes, sir. Every second, man. Like, every second. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could tell you a story. When I was in the NFL, and Seattle called me. It was on Christmas Eve. You know what I'm saying? And I had to make my ultimate decision, leave my kids on Christmas. You know what I'm saying? It broke my heart. I cried the whole plane ride. You know what I'm saying? Man, because I can't get that time back. You know what I'm saying? My kids opening the presents, doing that type of stuff. So definitely that's the most thing important to me is being around my kids full time, bro. But I don't care how mad I am, what I'm going through in life, bro. Like, I got to be there for my kids every second, every minute, man, to see me, you know what I'm saying, to be their hero ultimately. You know what I'm saying? So time is everything to me, you know what I'm saying? Every little second I can sit on the couch, lay with them, play with them, do anything, man. Like,
you know, and that's a beautiful thing, you know, that you have that and you know that. And I just, you know, Shamarko, since the last time we talked, you know, my life, I've looked at so many big picture things, you know, and you know, people try to figure out where to live and how many kids to have and what to do and this and that. And I'm just overwhelmed by love. You know, I'm overwhelmed by, in a good way is what I mean by that. Like, I truly believe that, you know, no matter how many kids you have or where you live or what you do, like, you figure out those things, and sometimes it's hard to figure out details and whatnot, but I just have this belief that because I believe in God so strongly and I love God so much, I really believe that love conquers all. I do believe that, you know, figuring out the mechanics of where do you live and what do you do and this and whatever, like, that's second to love. And I really, really believe in that. And I believe that when you find that love in life, you put that first.
Yes, you definitely put that first. You know what I'm saying? Everything else falls in place. You know what I'm saying? It's like an ultimate connection. You know, I put it. I'm a genuine lover. You know what I'm saying? And I live my whole life off that. That's how I got success. Loving football, loving my mom, loving my family. So you definitely right. That love part comes first to be anything. Of course, you think about financials going through the situation, but ultimately, I just wanted to see my mom happy because I love her. Ultimately, I want to see my kids happy because I love them, my brothers and everybody. So that was the key. You're right, man. It's love. Love matters.
Yeah, you know, it does, and it goes such a long way. And you know, in that love and that bond and that connection, you know, I called today an open letter from you to the current players in the NFL, the people, you know, future players, you know, really to anybody that's trying to make it in the world that you've lived in for so long. What would this open letter say? You know, from Shamarko, it's signed sincerely, Shamarko Thomas. What does the letter say? This open letter to people that are trying to make the NFL or will try to make the NFL in the future.
Man, you better get me emotional. Man, to everybody, man, honestly, just don't give up. I was talking to my little brother yesterday. You know what I'm saying? That mustard seed of faith is real. You know what I'm saying? When you're going through these trials and tribulations, because we all go through it. My story is no bigger than nobody else's. You know what I'm saying? We all go through all situations in life. And if you want a dream to go to NFL or even college or anything to pursue your dreams in life, man, you got to have that mustard seed of faith. Because people going to doubt. You're going to have people crab in the buckets. You're going to have whatever people that you think love you, you know what I'm saying? It's so much stuff that goes on in this process of chasing your dreams, ups and downs, failures and everything. That had a must see the faith. And man, if you got to cry and fight through, if you got to literally scratch and crawl for everything you want in life, man, do it. There's no other option, man. How I put it? I never seen myself giving up or giving in. You know what I'm saying? No matter what I went through in life. Because at the end of the day, I never seen my mom give up and give in. So to the young kids, have that much see the faith and don't give up and give in. Because reality, bro, if you give up and give in, it's going to be somebody else's dream.
Yeah, you know, and in this world, I think, you know, we care so much about what other people think. and whatever we think of ourselves becomes secondary to what other people think of us, what the world thinks of us.
Same.
How do we stop that? How do we stop that putting ourselves second of what we think of ourselves and letting what other people think of us be first? How do we flip-flop it back to where it's supposed to be? And it's what we think of ourselves, not what they think of us.
Yes, sir, that's true. How we do that is by telling yourself, like my thing, what I tell my kids to do, or my little brother, wake up in the morning, look in that mirror and tell yourself you the motherfucking best, you the motherfucking beast. Whatever you want to be, look in that mirror each and every day. You got to coach yourself every day to, if you have a negative thought, turn it to positive 10 times. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's hard. Like, I cannot say I'm always positive each and every day, but I'm going to grasp it by the end of the day. I'm going to make sure I'm okay by the end of the day. That's the process, man. It's getting better. Get 1% better each and every day, you know what I'm saying, with your attitude, your mindset, you know what I'm saying, because honestly, through these trials and tribulations, man, you're going to have mental health issues, you know what I'm saying? You go through so much stuff in life, you see so much stuff, you experience so much things, you know what I'm saying, your mind automatically thinks negative, you know what I'm saying, when things happen. But you got to revert and tell yourself, man, no, not this time. You know what I'm saying? I got to do something. Learn the lesson that you already went through. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a reason why you're going through the same things or the same situations. It's God teaching you a lesson to learn. You know what I'm saying? It's a problem to solve. So that's what I always tell myself when it gets hard or whatever. It's just a problem to solve. God just teaching me a lesson. And you keep them two things and keep, man, you won't be unstoppable.
Yeah, and about those lessons in life, what have you taken away from God's teachable moments?
Listen, learn, analyze, and move in silence. You know what I'm saying? Like, how I put it, going through what I go through, I realize sometimes it's not a people's fight. It's your self-fight. You know what I'm saying? It's hard for a person to be alone. It's easy to get comfort from everybody else, but when you go by yourself, you're in a different mind. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can act cool and smiling in front of everybody, but you're really going through something. But really fixing yourself alone. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Understand yourself. Isolate yourself until you hear yourself, man. Like, that's my biggest thing. Like, I'm a person, I'd rather be alone and fight my fight with just God. You know what I'm saying? To be around people and just portray something I'm not. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my ultimate state. Like, that's my fight, man. If I'm going to isolate myself, bro, I'm going to build myself up to be a beast. You know what I'm saying? But if I'm around people, I'm going to portray it. And I'm really hurt inside. So that's my biggest thing. Just isolate myself and build myself between me and God.
You know, that relationship with God, speaking here with Shamarko Thomas, Syracuse and NFL DB alum. For you, Shamarko, how would you describe the evolution of your relationship with God?
It's amazing. Like, I can't explain it. Like, my senior year, I tell this story all the time. Like, literally, it was like a movie. My senior year, I remember walking to that soccer field right behind our practice field. You know what I'm saying? Nighttime. I just asked God. This is when my mom died and all this stuff is coming, and I just wanted to go home. I got on my knees and asked God, like, if football for me, show me. And then I went to sleep, and I had that dream of picking Matt Barley. And I woke up in the morning and told my teammate roommate, Brandon Shaw. And it really happened. And it made it, and literally after I got that interception, man, it was like everything was coming, man. So I know God was there at that moment. I know he was listening to me this whole time. I know he was by my side. Because ultimately, man, that was the most magical thing I ever seen in my life. You know what I'm saying? So I keep him close. Yeah, he ain't failed me yet, so I always got to keep him close, and I always going to have that mustard seed of faith. No matter how many times I go through things in life, bro, I know God won't fail me, and I will not fail him.
Yeah, you know, and that belief and that connection, you know, how do you know, I love my close personal relationship with God. Like, I take care of that more than anything, and I appreciate it, and it's so deep, you know, within me. It's every part of my core. It's who I am. I don't hide it. Why has this relationship with God been so important for you, and what has it done to really unearth who Shamarko Thomas is?
Honestly, bro, maybe it'll make me cry. Truly, bro, I'm just thankful. You know what I'm saying? I'm just grateful that God took me out of my situation, gave me a talent, you know what I'm saying, gave me a lot. That's why I keep God close. So honestly, I know I want to be in a situation where, you know what I'm saying? I'm truly just grateful, man. That's why I keep him close. I feel him talking to me every night, you know what I'm saying? So that mentality, like I said, I won't give up on God no matter what I go through, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know what I've been through worse. I know he got me out of these situations, you know what I'm saying? So that's what keeps me strong.
You know, and I love that, and I love, and thank you for being so vulnerable as you always are. You know, I feel like every time we talk, I want to be in the same room as you, and so, you know, it's hard because it's like people can't, like, I know people listen to us and we're talking, but there's so many things that, like, I want to say, and I want to do. You know, I texted you because I did some, like, extreme bodily stuff, really cool stuff, thanks to my girlfriend Teresa this weekend, and it was so much fun. We'll talk about it in a minute, but that's when I texted you, when I said, like, yo, bro, we're still skydiving with Chick-fil-A, because the thing is, like, Teresa said to me, she was like, hey, I planned something out for us, and I said, okay, and she's like, you know, like, it's a surprise, and I said, okay, and I don't get nervous about anything. Like, you could literally shoot me out of a cannon, and I'm like, that's fine. So, like, I don't get nervous about that stuff. I'm not, like, I am like, genuinely the perfect person for Marvel to hire, because I would do my own stunts if they let me. But, like, the reality of it all is, you know, she said to me, like, are you afraid of heights? And I was like, no. And in my head, I was like, are we going skydiving? And she's like, no. She's like, I would tell you that, you know, like, if we were going to do something like that, I would tell you that in advance. She's like, but that's really cool to know that, like, you'd be okay with it. And Shamarko, I'm literally telling you, like, if she didn't tell me and we showed up to the place with the plane, I'd be like, all right, let's do it. Like, that's how I live life. And I know that you're very similar in that respect. So I'm going to ask you live on air again, are we going to eat Chick-fil-A as we jump out of a plane?
We doing that. We doing that. I'm ready. I'm telling you, we're doing that. We gotta put a date on it. Honestly, we just gotta put a date on it. Yeah. I'm telling you, I'm ready. Put a date on it.
And I mean, it's so, you know, it's so much fun to do that and to have that. And so this weekend, I went to a place called Wild Play at Jones Beach on Long Island, and we did this course where, you know, they hook you up to a harness, and then the harness goes on a wire, and you got to walk over. I got to share these pictures, but I shared one of them. And one of them that I shared is Teresa was like, she's like, do a pose. And I have always loved Spider-Man and wanted to, you know, be Spider-Man and in my own life. So she's like, just strike a pose. And I'm on this net sideways. And I'll be sharing it on social media, but some people could see it on my story at wakeupcall_DT. You could check it out on the story. And I just I held on to the wire with one hand. I pushed my feet up against the net, and I put my arm out, and I'm like barely holding on to anything in this picture. And she's like, okay, like she's like, I said, do a pose, and here you are, like, out here, like, putting yourself in, like, this, you know, crazy, you know, Spider-Man thing, you know, pose or whatnot. But, you know, we had to do all these really, really cool things. And one of the things on my bucket list that Teresa didn't know when she planned this was that I've always wanted to zip line. And I got to zip line on this thing, like, I don't know, like 8 or 9 times. And I was not afraid of it. Like, the first time I got on it, it was like, okay, Dan, you've never done this. You've always wanted to do it. I hooked up my harness and I let go. Like that was my thought process. My thought process was, I always wanted to do this. And then it was like, yes. You know what I mean? Like, that was it. It was like, I wanted to do it, and now I'm doing it. There was no, like, all right, are you okay? Can you get through this? It was like, I've always wanted to do it, and then I just let my feet go. So, you know, it was such an experience, Shamar. And I don't know if you've ever done, like, any of those, like, you know, courses with, you know, like, with the tight ropes and all this. I did a tightrope backwards. I did stuff with my eyes closed. Like, I genuinely was in my element. What'd you say?
That's my type of adventure. I like doing stuff like that.
You know, and it's like I have worried more about stupid garbage and it's so freeing to be like, wow, all the stuff I worry about is just like so nonsensical and ridiculous. And here I am on a tightrope going backwards, you know, not worried about my life at all. So, but I want to tell you that one of the zip lines, because I was thinking, like, after I was doing them, I'm like, okay, I got to do something before I go. And so I got up on one of the zip lines and I hooked everything up. And I leaned back and I did and I'll do it in my best Dougie Doug voice, but because I love Cool Runnings. But I did the feel the rhythm, and I did feel the ride, and I was like, get on up, it's bobsled time, and then I let go, and I was like, Cool Runnings. So I did it, man. I actually did the feel the rhythm, feel the ride, get on up, it's bobsled time, and yelled Cool Runnings on one of my zip lines.
Oh, that's loud. You got a video?
I don't think we have me on recording ziplining, and so Teresa can send that to me and I can send it out.
Yeah.
I don't think she got my Cool Runnings one because I needed like a head cam for that one. But because she didn't know I did it, like because she went first and then she would film me sometimes coming toward her, and then I filmed her on some of them, and so, but she had like the fanny pack apparatus to like throw the stuff in. I just was like putting it in my gym shorts pocket. So, you know, again, just, you know, not worried about anything.
Not worried about it.
You know, and just, you know, but I did. I got to do the Cool Runnings thing because ever since Cool Runnings came out in like 1993, I have wanted to be not on a bobsled team. I want to be on the Jamaican bobsled team, and I'm still trying to figure out how I can like legally, mechanically make that happen.
You ever tried that before?
I've never been on a bobsled.
Me either. I want to try that. We got to put down a bucket list for real.
So we're gonna bobsled together.
Make sure you're in the front though, because I can. You might get crowd better than me, or do that steer better, move that thing better than me.
Yeah,
they just push you down a little slope. You just slide in a little thing.
Yeah, you gotta like drive, and you know you got 4 people in it, so we got to find 2 more people we can trust.
Ooh, that's gonna be. I don't got nobody.
So, I love that. We gotta find 2 more people for the 4 person. Shamarko. Oh, I was like people we can trust. I ain't got nobody.
Not at that risk. Only trust you.
I got a couple of people I could call for that bobsled. But yeah, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna trust you to push it. I'll jump in first and I'll steer it.
I got you on that. I'll push the hell out of that motherfucker. I'm not steering it.
Yeah, you push it and I'll be steering it, and then we just have to find 2 people in the middle that can like weight balance everything.
Lean and all.
Yeah, you gotta lean the right way. It's pretty crazy to watch it, but I've always wanted to go I want to be I want a bobsled, and I want to jump out of a plane eating Chick-fil-A. I don't ask for much in my life.
We about to make a move. We're going to blog those. We got to blog all that.
Yeah, we do. And we have to. I don't know if I told you, but I'm on TikTok now. I actually did it. So,
what?
Yeah.
I got to follow you on there.
Yeah, I'm on TikTok now. I don't even remember what my name is on there, but I am I am on it, and I've put myself in that situation. So, you know, but I mean, Shamarko. So let's discuss it. Let's discuss living life. Let's discuss being free. How do you live your life? What's like your day to day? What makes you Shamarko Thomas unapologetically?
No sleep. My body wakes up 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning automatically. Wake up, I probably meditate, yoga. You know what I'm saying? Lift weights with my little brother. And by the time my kids gotta get in school, gotta get them ready for school, then I go outside for position work. You know what I'm saying? Then I handle business with my IYB podcast, my D4G stuff. Then I make emails with people who, you know what I'm saying? Then I basically whatever my day got going. You know what I'm saying? If I gotta go down to the gym, you know what I'm saying, train, or I tell some of my trainers that they schedule and stuff like that. It's just after probably like 12 o'clock is like straight business, but in the morning it's straight attacking my football, my condition. I feel like if I don't wake up 4 o'clock in the morning and work out, it'll mess up my whole day. You know what I'm saying? Carry around with my kids. I always got to have space to train my kids and have fun with them. You know what I'm saying? Like, they got to be like a real section of my life. I don't be here Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. So the rest of my days on Tuesdays and all that stuff, I make sure I put my schedule, enjoy my kids on the days I'm not here. So really my schedule is like a regular father, you know what I'm saying? Wake up, lift weights, water my garden I just made, play with my rabbits too, and walk my dogs, and you know what I'm saying, enjoy my kids, you know what I'm saying, handle business.
And I mean, you know, professionally, work-wise and whatnot, what's on the horizon for Shamarko Thomas?
I just signed to the CFL team, Ottawa, you know what I'm saying? It's a great opportunity, man. Honestly, I didn't even know I would see my wife. She got an email or something. She emailed them, and they said I was already claimed. I was claimed. I didn't even know I was even in that CFL situation. So I just took that situation, man. Truly grateful for the opportunity the team is giving me. I'm just gonna go out there and go crazy. You know what I'm saying? I found out it's close to Syracuse, so it's basically home.
Yeah, you're going to play for the Ottawa Red Blacks, and you know, looking at this logo, it's a razor. So I mean, I don't think that they fully understand that when they made the logo that it was made for you, because you like are that razor. Like, you know, nobody is safe if you're on the field, and I mean that respectfully. You know, like I really do. Like ain't nobody safe. So
not at all.
You know, and I love that. So I mean, you're still playing the game, and you played for Denver, you played for Buffalo, you played for Pittsburgh inside of the NFL. You know, what energizes you to keep going? I mean, do you just feel like, I mean, how do you feel in the grand scheme of things about like where you're at in your career?
I'm just truly grateful, man. Like I said, God's given me this ability, and He giving me opportunities to play the game. And ultimately, I do it for my son, because all I hear, Daddy play football, Daddy play football, Daddy play football. He keeps me young, you know what I'm saying? I just, you know what I'm saying, motivate him, keep pushing him, and inspire him. Like I said, that's my 2 sons, Junior and Prince. They're my twins. But you know what I'm saying, like, I love football. At the end of the day, I cannot get enough of it, man. I play all day with my brothers, you know what I'm saying? It's who I am, you know what I'm saying? It's not who I am. It's part of me. I would not say it's who I am, because ultimately I grew and I realized I got many facets, many, you know what I'm saying, talents, you know what I'm saying? With music, with art, creating videos, doing all type of stuff, but it's something that beat in my chest that literally makes me love this game of football, and I just love playing it. You know what I'm saying? Like the violence and hitting people, you know what I'm saying? Seeing their body go limp, stuff like that. Crazy, but you know what I'm saying? Just hitting the crowd, you know what I'm saying? The love, the enjoy, you can block out everything that's going on in your life, man. Like, the crazy thing I always meant from every coach, man, when you step into a building, whatever happens outside of this building you know what I'm saying? It don't matter. And that's what I think on the field. Once I step onto that field, everything I went through or things I'm going through is blocked out. You know what I'm saying? So it's like my meditation field. So I love the game.
Yeah, man. And you, speaking here with Shamarko Thomas, a Syracuse and NFL alum, and now heading to the CFL. I mean, you're 30 years old. I mean, you're just started life. I mean, for you, I feel like they're going to have to pull you off the field at like 85 years old. Like, I genuinely do. I feel like they're going to be like, Shamarko, that's be like, no, man, I got to go. But, I mean, what you just said, and I mean, like, respectfully to the game, you're like, man, I love just seeing I love hitting somebody and seeing their body go limp. Like, you are such a, like, I genuinely am so happy that on my Avengers squad, you're on my team, because I would never want to see you on the field in any way, shape, or form. If I'm a quarterback and you're running at me, I'm going to put the ball on the ground and be like, here you go, brother, have a good day. So, like, but you know, you are such a force. And I talk to you about it all the time. Like, I don't forget that hit. I don't forget that at the Dome, right, you know, sitting right in front of the press box, or like in the press box in the front row, and you just ran at this tight end, and you just dove Superman and slammed him right in the chest. You went down, like, you hit him right in the helmet to the chest. You went down on the ground, and I'm thinking, man, is this guy concussed? Did he do something to his neck? Like, you just give yourself to every single, like you literally live life on the field and off the field. You live life like every single play, every second, every minute, every moment, everything, every kiss, every hug, every, going to get ice cream with the kids, every workout, every play on the field, that it all matters. Like you genuinely, I don't feel like you can have, and I understand that there's moments that are tough, but I don't feel like you can genuinely have a bad day because you just give everything you can to the moment, which I feel like presents to you and the people around you that no matter what's going on in life, like you're going to bring it. And if you're going to bring it, how can you have a bad day?
That's real tough. It's just my mentality, man. Like, I see my mom go through so much. And literally, my mom is a woman that hides many things, you know what I'm saying? So that's my mentality. If I can see my mom go through worse than me, you know what I'm saying? This life is not harder than what I see my mom go through. So reality, I've been put in better situations than my mom, you know what I'm saying? Better opportunities. Why complain? Why not attack? Why not value these opportunities? Why not be grateful? So that's why you see, like I tell my little brother all the time, you can't go from Power Warner to middle school to high school. You can't name a time I was late for a practice, late for a meeting, late for anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, I take advantage of every opportunity, every moment, man. It means that much to me because I seen my mom value me and do the things she did because we mean that much to her. So that's the ultimate reason why I give it my all, and I'm so passionate about not just football, my kids, my life, you know, some of my brothers, you know, even my friends, you know, and my friends hate it because sometimes I got so much passion for them. I want them to do so well. It's like, you know what I'm saying? But reality, I learned growing up, everybody can't have my passion. Everybody can't have my drive. Everybody can't have my fight. You know what I'm saying? Everybody ain't go through the same experiences, but ultimately it's my mom. At the end of the day, seeing her fight, you know what I'm saying? Like, honestly, I didn't even know my mom had a heart problem until she passed because she was that tough of a woman. You know what I'm saying? So why should I complain about anything? You know what I'm saying? I am blessed. I'm grateful that God put me in these situations. And my mom's working over me. Why not give it your all?
Yeah, you know, and I feel like, I mean, every turn, it was Syracuse, then it was, to the NFL and to Pittsburgh and to Denver and to Buffalo, like, and now to Ottawa. I feel like you're never out of it. I feel like you're never out of, what you want to do. I don't see quit. I don't see you're always working out, you're always training, you're always pushing. I just don't feel like anybody can say no to you for long because you're going to break the door down.
It's what Antonio Brown always told me. Nobody stop what God got planned for you. You know what I'm saying? So keep trying, keep going, keep fighting. You know what I'm saying? That's my mentality. No man, no woman, no thing can stop what God got planned for me. You know what I'm saying? That's why these doors keep open, because God allowed these doors to open. Because at the end of the day, like I said, when I'm alone grinding and crying and fighting through all this stuff and stuff I go through in life, man, you know what I'm saying? God knows in my heart I ain't going to give up. I'm going to push. I'm genuinely do care about everything I put my passion towards. So that's why them doors open, because of God. So I'm truly grateful for them.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. God, nobody can stop what God has planned for you. I love that. Shamarko Thomas, Syracuse Orange and NFL alum. Shamarko, every Tuesday I do a thing on the show called The Ingredients to Success. The Ingredients to Success are proudly brought to you by a local place right here in central and upstate New York, Avicolli's, probably about maybe 15 minutes from downtown Syracuse where the Dome is. Avicolli's on the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road in Liverpool. You can call 315-622-5100 for takeout, delivery, or catering. You can also go to myavicollis.com. And, of course, they are now open for lunch once again, thanks to everything that went on with just working hard through this COVID situation and the hard work and effort and enthusiasm. We are here to be able to have this opportunity. Oh, no, you're okay. So, but to have this opportunity for Avicolli's to be with us here in the community for over 2 decades and to be back with lunch to go with their dinner as they've navigated through Corona. And you've been so grateful to them and have gone to them so much. And your takeout and your delivery and your constant love for Avicolli's is what has kept them in business over the years and through this past year and a half. So I want to thank the community for that. with the ingredients to success every single Tuesday around 10:50 a.m. Eastern Time. Shamarko, I pick a topic and then the ingredients. Because you're on the phone with me and you are so inspirational, I would love for you to pick the topic and talk about the ingredients to success. So it could have to do with the open letter to the NFL. It could be to dreams and aspirations. It could be to being a father or a parent. It could be to literally anything. What would you like the topic to be today?
Dreams and aspirations.
Dreams and aspirations. Okay. So what are the ingredients to success of achieving your dreams and aspirations?
One is God and faith. Two, you already know, work hard until your hands fall off. Three, first of all, three is having a plan. Having a plan and your why. Your why. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got God first, then I work my butt off. That's how, literally, all I knew was to work out, and then literally my third thing was a plan and my why. My plan was written down in my notes. I had goals, I had things to accomplish. That's one thing I say, and one thing real key. Write stuff down. If you want your dreams and goals, write stuff down. Write everything down, man. I feel like that's the way that you truly personally talk to God, not just out loud, but he gets you in that mindset. You know what I'm saying? Like, you always hide your journal from girls, hide their journals, and people don't like their personal stuff. This is your personal thing to God. So if you want to have your dreams and aspirations, like, write all that stuff down so you can see it every day and know what you're heading towards and what's your focus. And don't give up or give in. Don't give up or give in no matter what. The things, the injuries, or people doubting you, the crabs in the bucket, anything, bro. Like you said, the social media, the people that comment, don't let nobody deter you for what you want out of life, because you only live life once at the end of the day. So just cherish it. Ultimately, the last thing overall is being grateful. Like, that's my truest thing. Is out of all these things, hard work, sacrifice, dedication, and putting in work and the faith, is be truly grateful for what you got. And God will show you at the end that he's amazing, and he's going to lay it out in your face, and he's going to be more than you ever thought.
That coming from Shamarko Thomas, those are the ingredients to success for this week about dreams and aspirations and how to get there and the importance of all of that. Shamarko, in the effort of fairness and beauty, rapid fire, being able to ask each other literally anything here at the conclusion of this conversation. We'll have 3 apiece. We'll go back and forth. I will ask you 3. You will ask me 3. I'm going to let you start because there's a lot of things that I told you, off the air. I told you about like the obstacle course and different things that are going on and whatnot. So I don't know where you're going to head with this, and you don't know where I'm going to head. So I'm going to give you the opportunity now to start it off and ask me a question.
I already know your favorite thing is Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Right? Would you love to be in a Spider-Man movie?
I would. I definitely would welcome that. Is that your question, or is there something else?
Yeah, that's the question. Like, would you love to be in a Spider-Man movie? Like, would you take on that, or would you be nervous? Would you take on that challenge like you took on the little ride? Like, ooh, it's time to go. Or like, oh, it's not. Like, I'm about to be Spider-Man.
If I got the opportunity to be Spider-Man, I can tell you that, like, and God knows this, I would, because I was in the Amazing Spider-Man 2 as an extra, and so yeah.
You tell me this.
What'd you say?
When you just gonna tell me this?
So, I do. I have like the thing is on the big screen you can see it because as an extra it's quick, but like I have it on my phone. I actually have like the here I am, and so I kind of like zoom into it. I got to send that to you, but yeah. So I mean, I've already been in the movie as an extra. But I think for me, I want to, like, when my dreams have an opportunity, like if I'm scared, if I'm nervous in the moment, I can tell you, quite plainly that I just believe. And if I want to do it and it means a lot to me and I think that I can, I know that I can, I literally just go after it. So if I got the call to play Spider-Man, I can honestly tell you that, any type of fear I had would be overrun. It wouldn't even be fear. I'm so excited about the opportunity. I believe I can do it. Like, I genuinely believe that I could do it. I believe I'm going to be in a Marvel movie. I believe I'm going to be a hero. I believe I'm going to be able to do crazy, awesome things on set and whatnot. I wouldn't be afraid to be Spider-Man because in my life, I have been tested and I've gone through so much, and I almost feel like the stuff that I've had to go through internally would be nothing to me like jumping off a building. So I'm ready. Yeah, it is. My first question for you is, what superhero would you play in a movie and why?
Just because my son like it. And it's crazy because my son loves Spider-Man. I got about 30,000 Spider-Man things in here and Hulk. I'll be the Hulk just for my son.
Okay.
He calls me the Hulk. So I'll be the Hulk because he sees me lifting weights and all this stuff. And he'll take off his shirt, Hulk, you know what I'm saying? So my superhero, he's not even a superhero. He just, you know what I'm saying, the guy, the Hulk. That's what I would be. Just because my son Prince loves Hulk so much.
No, and I like that because you and I can, I can do all types of awesome stuff with my powers, and you can do what you normally do, which is go out there and Hulk smash. So, I would have picked the Hulk, and that's what I was thinking when I asked the question. So I think it's funny that Prince and I feel the same way about that.
Man, my son got everything Hulk in his house.
What's the? This is not a second question, just to kind of going off of it. What's the coolest Hulk thing that you bought your son?
Man, action figure, man, he got a helmet. I'm telling you, literally everything's Hulk or Spider-Man. He goes in the store. Every time I go in the store, his daddy shot Hulk or Spider-Man. So I got him a bike. I got him a hat. I got a big old action figure.
He's living all right. He's doing all right.
Oh, he's living. Spoiled.
What's your next question for me?
Okay. Do you have a fear of being alone?
It's really funny you asked this question because I just had a conversation about it. Do I have a fear of being alone? No. I will tell you why. So I went through a lot of stuff in my life, and I know for a long period of time I felt like I needed somebody, and because I felt like I needed somebody, I took anybody, and because I took anybody, I got hurt. And when I was put in a situation in my personal life where I thought that I had, built a home and a life with someone and they left, I can honestly tell you that, for, almost 3 years now, I've had to, I dated people, but I've had to be alone. I've had to pay my bills on my own. Nobody, when you sign up all the stuff and you get a house and you think it's going to be teamwork, like, I had to take over everything on my own, take care of my dog on my own, take care of my health on my own, figure out, who's my emergency contact. And so I think being in the situation that I was put in my life, it taught me how to be alone, how to accept being alone, how to go to sleep in my bed 9 times out of 10 alone. And what that gave me was the difference between being alone and being lonely. And when you're lonely, you will disrespect yourself and take in anybody. When you're alone and you've mastered that, you appreciate what it's like to have somebody. And so I would say that the relationship that I have now is not because I need it. It's because I want that person specifically. And it has nothing to do with having somebody there. It has everything to do with having her there specifically. And because I know how to be alone in business, because I know how to be alone in my personal life, because I'm in my house by myself with my dog and I run my business by myself, because I know how to do all of that alone, and I've learned how to be alone and to really not be afraid of it, not be mad at it, for it to not be a bad thing, and to be a good thing and a fruitful thing and a growing thing, I can honestly tell you that I feel so great now in my life because I choose the person that I'm with every day, and I think that has really shown the evolution of me.
That's the best thing I ever heard, man. That's the truth, though. That's the thing. You know how to break stuff down. Dang. That's the truth, though, man. Like, I feel like a lot of people are scared to be alone. That's why they try to just pick anybody or do anything, man. But If you do that, man, all you're doing is making it worse for yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I've been there. And because I've been there, I know how not to be there. And, meeting Teresa, I didn't need a relationship. I didn't need something to make me feel good. And so it's just so beautiful that I can genuinely be there and just care and really, have some big plans in my life because of where I have grown to be. And I'm just proud of it. Like I'm happy to be the man that I am today, and I wouldn't be the man without the adversity. So I can't say that I hate the adversity because it's made me who I am. It taught me how to be alone. The one thing I never wanted to do, and now I know how to do it, because you are never alone. I have God all the time, and so I genuinely never feel alone. And I think that, God walking with me and me allowing him to guide me and to walk with me. And, I always say, God, guide me toward what I'm supposed to be going toward. Guard me from what I'm not supposed to go toward. So it's always guide and guard.
Yes,
and I feel that, he answers that. And he does things on his time. And I think he kind of wants me to say, like, I'm ready. And then when I say I'm ready, then I say, okay, you do it when you need to do it. Like, I want you to know I'm ready, but I don't want to force you to do things you don't need to do. So it's kind of like letting God do things as they come, but letting him know, like, I'm ready for battle, but then he has to kind of blueprint me and tell me where I'm going to go to fight. So
that's real. I like that, man. I'm going to use that.
So my second question for you, Shamarko, is what is your advice to me on being a husband and a father someday?
It's a learning experience each and every day. Don't ever think there's such thing as a perfect father, perfect husband, anything, man. It's a learning process every single day. I learn something new being a father, man. That's the fun of being a father, man. You learn yourself. Also, you learn how to care for others and adjust yourself and drop the prides and all the little selfish things I used to have with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could tell you an example. My cars. When I first got in the league, I love my cars. I like cleaning them out, all that stuff. When you got kids, drop a pride. Drop a pride. But reality, man, it's just you take every day and attack it. Like I always take with football, take it 1%, it can get better, man. Each and every day, whether being a father or a husband or anything, man, it's a process. It's no such thing as perfect. When I used to believe trying to be perfect, it would really ruin me. You know what I'm saying? Like it was just driving me crazy how to be a perfect dad and how to be this. And you know what I'm saying? I'm always judging myself. I could do better than this. It's like, no, just go with the flow, man. Be the best you, man. Your kids gonna love you regardless. Grow and understand them. You know what I'm saying? And that's ultimately put them in the best position and lay them out a foundation that they can grow and live on and have their own foundation. So that's my biggest thing, man. I tell people all the time, there's no such thing as a perfect parent. You know what I'm saying? Or a perfect husband or anything. Just try to get 1% better and value people, value your kids, value them, and everything's gonna plan out, guys. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
and I could appreciate that very much so. What is your last one for me?
I gotta get something crazy. I gotta make you, cause you know how to talk. You breaking it down to me. I gotta get something hard for you.
I can hear you on the other end of the phone rubbing your hands together. Like I know you're trying to get one.
I'm trying to think. Oh man, let's see. Okay. So, would you? There's a football player that had to. He was stuck in the ocean for like a couple of days floating. You know what I'm saying? If somebody ever judged you for $10 million to float in the ocean for a day, would you do it?
If somebody paid me $10 million to float in the ocean for a day?
Yeah, like you have a little floaty and all that stuff, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, like,
crazy. I can't do it. You would float in the middle of the ocean?
Okay, so here's the thing. So I feel like I was born in the water because I have, like, some weird type of Aquaman, like Atlantis. I don't know what, like, I love being in the water. When I haven't been in the water for a really long time, like I got in the water last month, I went down to Florida, and I was like, okay, Dan, you're going to swim underwater, you know, like you're going to breathe underwater, you're not going to come up once, and you're going to swim from here to here. And I point to this place like far down the pool, and then I did it. And I'm like, and even though like without practice, without having done it every day, I love breathing underwater. I love being underwater. I love the like diving and like people not seeing where you are and then like showing up. I honestly feel like I was born, like I feel like a part of me has gills and I was just like meant to be in the water. So I love it so much. I could stay in it all day, and I love to eat seafood. So I think that at some point in my life, God, I don't know, injected me with some fish gene, or I don't know what he did, but I can honestly tell you that I trust myself in the water, and I almost feel like there's something down there for me, like waiting for me. I don't know how to describe it, so I just think there is.
So you would sit out, bro. I would lose my mind. I love the water. I would be so scared of sharks. I would think about the worst.
If they gave me a floaty, it's a different if like I'm just out there. But if you're like, if they put me in like something where I can float and stay alive, then yeah,
No, I'm talking about, you're just floating with a floater and you're in the water.
Oh, okay. So like I don't have anything holding me up?
No. Like the floaty, like a floaty on, like it's keeping you up. Have you seen a movie? What's that movie? It's not Deep Blue Sea, it's Deep Sea. Like they got stuck out in the water and they was holding on to like little floaters and stuff, and they started getting eaten by sharks and stuff one by one. No, they was in scuba diving. They was what's it called? Snorkeling? Where's that thing when you go deep swim? And they left them. Like they accidentally left them there.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, if I had something to float on, that's different. Yeah. If I was in a cage in that movie, like 27 Feet Under or whatever it is. If I was in a cage in shark infested waters and I couldn't get out of the cage, then yeah, that's a different story.
No, it's a movie. I know what movie you're talking. It's a movie. Basically, they was going scuba diving. You know what I'm saying? Out of country, and they counted all the little oxygen tanks and all that stuff. And they do miscounted and left like 2 or 3 people out there in the middle of the water. They had like their floaties on and they grabbed on something that was broken in the water. And literally they was there for like 3 or 4 days, but lady got 8, the other dude got, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm saying somebody forgot you snorkeling and you in the middle of the ocean, you know what I'm saying? I'm saying if I put you in the middle of the ocean with your floaty on, I'll give you something to float on. Will you sit there for $10 million for a day?
I'm telling you, bro, that like if it's between me and dying, then I'm going to stay alive. If God wants me to be there, I'm going to stay alive. I will punch that shark in the face. I will poke their eye out. I will do whatever I got to do. Listen, it's between, what did Mother Teresa say? It doesn't matter about anything. It doesn't matter what they think. It was between you and God anyway. Like it was always between you and God. So if it's between me and God, God knows. Somebody going to come to pick me up. I'll be riding on that shark. Be like, yo, what's up, man? I'm good. I'm all right. I'm okay. I'll stay out here another day or so. We've been eating fish together. We're having a good time. So I'm not giving up no matter what because I don't know the word. I don't know the Q word. That's that 4 letters that I can't even say. I don't know that word. So I can't do that word. So if somebody leaves me out there without my snorkel and without my oxygen tank, I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to write a real charged letter when I get home, but I'm going to live. I'm going to live through it.
I love that, man. You changing my mindset now. I'll get in that water too. Forget it. Fuck it. Forget it. I'm a warrior.
Listen, you of all people, bro. Like I would trust you. You grab the shark around the neck, and I poke its eye. Like that's that.
I gotta tell you a story though. I gotta tell you a story.
Go ahead.
What's the little the thing they be getting close. They real big and black, and they be getting close. They be in Florida. Start with an M.
The manta rays, the stingrays.
Yeah, they big. What's the shit called? A manatee.
Oh, manatee. The manatees?
They big and black. They big and they come close to the shore. They just be floating.
Yeah, it might be a manatee.
Yeah, it's a manatee. Man, so I was in the Florida water. I was in Florida Ocean. I was swimming, And I'm like, bro, what is that spot? Me and my brothers and my uncle, they're like, man, that's just seaweed. I'm like, no, bro. Seaweed is just not moving like this. So we let it go. I don't want to think enough. We go deeper, bro. I look to my left, man, this manatee. I thought it was a shark. I ain't gonna lie. I just panicked. It rubbed against my body, bro. I never felt so scared of my life. I thought my life was over. When I mean the whole ocean, the beach, they thought we was getting ate by sharks, man. I'm talking about I'm running, trying to swim, I'm trying to do everything. And the dude was like, it's like a man. It's that manatee is big and blade, huge. They're huge. And they just be floating close to the sea. Man, I was so scared. I thought I was going to die in 2 seconds. Yeah, I ain't had no fight in that moment. I ain't going to lie. I gave up.
You just went limp. You just like did what they said to do with a bear. You're just like and just like lay there in the water.
All that, like the skin, the hair on my body. I'm like, oh, he got me. It's over. He got me. Just let it happen.
Yeah. Well, I'm happy you didn't die, man. I'm happy that you're.
No, they say they come close to the sea all the time. Like, what is they? It's like they come to the sea and they just be floating. It's a manatee. Yeah, it's a manatee. Yes, sir. A manatee. They say they come close to the shore all the time. It's fine. They always do that in Florida. People got caught. Lady got caught riding one. She get fined for that.
She got caught riding one?
Riding. Her family and them was riding and they got fined. I think somebody got her dad or somebody got some days in jail or something. Yeah, like in Florida, a lot of people, because the manatees come close and stuff.
Could you imagine being a convicted felon for riding a manatee? They're like, man, you got locked up? Yeah, man, I got locked up. What, for murder? No. For drugs? No. For riding a manatee, bro, I'm a gangster. Like,
Bro, I'd be hot, man. Yeah, but it's literally, if you look it on YouTube, I think somebody got fined and they went to jail for riding a manatee in Florida.
And, I'm gonna be real with you. I kind of want to go to jail if I'm riding a manatee. Like, I don't want to go to jail, but if I'm riding a manatee, like, let me put it to you like this, because I know how God is. God's like, oh, you want to, and he's writing it down right now, ching, 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 in the typewriter. Like, no. All I can say is, if I ever got arrested and I had to do a mugshot, then if it's gonna be for anything, let it be because Shamarko and I were riding manatees in Florida. So, with that being said, Shamarko, I have one more question for you. So, I guess my question for you would be, in this moment, my last question for you, what is a dream you have away from football that you haven't done yet?
My biggest dream, one of the dreams.
Tortora on wakeupcalldt.com.
Music and being an actor. You know what I'm saying? Like, those are my biggest things. Like, I love music. Like, since a young kid, I remember me recording all the Michael Jackson stuff, wearing my grandma's wig in the house, emulating the gloves, putting a little stuff on it, man. Michael Jackson, and I just love music. You know, I just did 2 songs. I got a song. I'm about to come out with like an album dedicated to my mom. I got one song that came out last year. It's called Cry. And then I got a song. Basically, it's crazy because this girl, when I first got to Syracuse, her name is Her name is The Songbird on Instagram, but I call her Nay. But we was in the dorms, our freshman first start, and she was singing. And I went over there and prayed, trying to sing. She's like, you're all right. You know what I'm saying? And now it's crazy. Her grandma passed. And then my mom's situation. Like, I made this song, like, literally, I didn't write it. I just literally came from my heart and put her on it. And it's called Letter to You. You know what I'm saying? It's about me and her. Her name is Songbird, but music and being an actor, man, I just want to get out of my comfort zone and just try new things, man. I'm that big guy. And also, real estate, I've been doing that since college, since my mom invested in me, you know what I'm saying? So that's the biggest thing, just getting out of my comfort zone and learning new things, you know what I'm saying? Being an actor or music most, because I love it. I do it 24/7. Literally, one time I probably be in the studio from 9 to like 2 o'clock in the morning. Yeah. 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. So,
well, what I think is awesome is that the 2 things you just said are 2 things I want to do. I want to work on my music. And I want to act. So I guess you and I are going to, as much as we got going on together, I guess you and I got some work to do beyond that as well.
Yeah, honestly, I think this is God sent. No, honestly, truly, you always come on time. Like literally, like I know you don't know my situation, what I go through every day, but literally you come on time and literally like that fuel that keep me going. And this is not for no, you know what I'm saying? This is real. Like you know me, I'm authentic. I don't lie. Like literally, you say literally every perfect word that hit me. Like I even tell my little brother, like, man, I don't know God. Like you know what I'm saying? It's in him. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know God. Like Shamarko needs you. Boom. You know what I'm saying? But reality, like literally every time I'm going through something, you say the right words, or even be on the right topic. It's wow. And that's why it's like the emotions. I ain't gonna lie, why I cried today on the phone because of that. It's like, man, how is he on time every time? Every time. Literally, every time I'm going through something, literally, you come on time and say the right thing. And I thank you and I appreciate that, man. I don't know if you got, you know what I'm saying, God at your crib. I don't know if you hit your cell phone up, man, but honestly, man, I truly thank you, man, because it's like literally, I can't even, literally every time we have a talk or you text me or anything, like it's the right words, the right thing, the right subject. It's like God is talking to you in an amazing way. And when you talk about God, I know he's in you because reality, he's sending you to also protect me sometimes, man, and help me out.
Well, I can tell you, brother, that I feel the exact same way about you. You asked me questions today that had everything to do with conversations I have had that are very important in my life. So, you just asked me about the being alone thing, and I literally just had that conversation on Sunday. So, there's a lot to be said about our connection. There's a lot to be said about what we have, and I am honored and I'm privileged to have it and to be able to connect with you in this way. So, Shamarko, for me, I have some thoughts. I'm gonna, outside of the show, I'm gonna hit you up and talk to you and try to have a couple ideas and see what you think of them. But you and I definitely, I think we need to be. I love that you say that I'm on time for you. I appreciate that, and I feel the same way about you. I have some more purposeful stuff. You talk about writing things down. I think you and I should do more concrete things more often. So I'm going to reach out to you and see if there's maybe something we can do.
Let's do it, man. I'm with it. It's not what you gonna do it. I'm with it. Like, man, text me after this, whatever. I'm with it. I'm ready for the opportunity and just, you know what I'm saying? Like I told my little brother, like, if I feel like God is telling me to do stuff and it's God sent, bro, I'm ready. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no more wasting time and stuff like that. So whatever you got planned, man, I'm with it, man.
That coming from Shamarko Thomas, and we will see where this goes from here by the grace of God. As always, brother, I appreciate you. I thank you for being on the show. I never, ever know how to say goodbye on the phone, so I will say see you soon, and I look forward to talking with you.
Definitely. I don't know how to say goodbye either, man. Thank you so much again, man, for the opportunity and helping me. You know what I'm saying? This is like, honestly, it's like counseling for me. So I really appreciate you, man, for everything you do for me, keeping in touch with me, treat me like, you know what I'm saying, a human being at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? Because people, you know what I'm saying, see me as a football player. You see me more than that, and I respect that the most.
Well, you have done, you do so much for me in my life that I can't even begin to thank you. So it is my honor and it is my true privilege. So, you don't have to thank me. I appreciate that you do, but it is my privilege. You are a game changer in my life, and I know that. So just stay by your phone today.
Yeah, yes. Thank you, man. Again, man. I appreciate you.
All right, brother. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, man.
Take care. That coming from Shamarko Thomas here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. We'll take our final step aside of the show today, and we'll be back right after this, where sports meets life. To say that God is working in purposeful ways would be a drastic understatement. We'll take a step aside. We'll be back right after this.
Cafe Cabal Mobile Cafe brings the cafe experience to you. We'll roll out to your neighborhood or office, ready to serve our locally crafted espresso bar to our loyal patrons. Inquire at cafecabal.com. Cafe Cabal, coffee for the soul.
Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory, located on 201 7th North Street in Liverpool, is home to over 40 flavors with more than 200 flavors in their total wheelhouse. Sky's the limit for this sweet and savory Central New York company. Keep it local at your parties, fundraisers, wedding showers, baby showers, and more by calling 315-450-MA-PA. That's 315-450-6272 for popcorn bars with custom flavors and colors at your upcoming event. Make sure to visit them on 201 7th North Street in Liverpool, New York. And for more information, go to maandpassnacks.com. Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory. How corny are you? The Mill House Market, located on 3790 New York 13 in Pulaski, New York, is worth the drive every time. Make sure you make your way out to the Mill House Market every Tuesday through Saturday from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. and on Sundays from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. for incredible food from incredible... Listen, we all need to eat, right? We all need we have to eat our food in order to stay nourished and live in this world and so on and so forth. If you're going to feed your body, do it at the Mill House Market. Literally everything they have is good. From their homemade breads to their homemade desserts, their quinoa bowls, their rice bowls, their specialty pizzas, their traditional pizzas, all brick oven, to their salads, to their sandwiches that are named after the families that helped settle today's Pulaski. Downloading the app on the Google Play or Apple App Store, there's nothing difficult about the app. It's extremely user-friendly, and somehow, some way, they updated the app and made it even more user-friendly and gave you even more things to connect with and a map to get there and all of this great stuff. The only difficult thing about the app at the Mill House Market is trying to decide between what you want. Because you're going to want a pizza, that you're going to want a sandwich, but you're going to want to try this salad, but you want to get this dessert, but you want to maybe get this dessert too. The most difficult thing about the Mill House Market is narrowing down what you're going to order that day. And maybe you could be like me, and I always end up bringing something home. I bring a cookie home, and I get a pizza there, whatever it may be. Fantastic place. Just went up there this past weekend. I love being at the Mill House Market, and you will too. Head out to 3790 New York 13 in Pulaski, New York, Tuesday through Sunday for something that is absolutely positively worth the drive every time. With that being stated, here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports meets that thing called life, I want to thank my incredible guest today. Man, these two shows felt like 10 shows because Scott Landers just brought it. And then after Scott, who did we have? Shamarko Thomas. And he brought us the ingredients to success this week, proudly presented by Avicolli's. I'm blown away by the relationships that I have been able to make, in this community and abroad. I am so grateful to God that this idea and this job that I wanted to do, that God said yes, and that he has helped me forward. I mean, I honestly feel like God is just waiting for me to say, give me more, or I'm ready for something else, because he wants to throw that blessing my way. I'm so ready. So God, give me more. And let's do this. Scott Landers, Shamarko Thomas, Ingredients to Success, proudly brought to you by Avicolli's. This has been Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, and it always will be, here on Facebook.com/LiveNowDT, Facebook.com/WakeUpCallDT, MixLR.com/WakeUpCallDT, YouTube.com/WakeUpCallDT, and on WakeUpCallDT.com Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time. And, of course, you could search our archives and get us on Stitcher, Spotify, MixLR, YouTube, iTunes, and Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, TuneIn, and Podbean 24/7. You can go to any of those and get the show. And, of course, we want to thank our proud partners, Cafe Cabal for being our studio partner, Carvel DeWitt, where I have my Orange Dream signature ice cream sundae, as well as Shake, the Wildcat Sports Pub, where we have our exclusive West Genesee show and fantasy football, Chick-fil-A Cicero, where we have our exclusive segment of Lead, and we'll be doing more coming up starting very, very soon in July, so watch out for that. Avicolli's, where you have our exclusive Liverpool high school show, which we'll be doing tomorrow on Wednesday, May 26th with the girls lacrosse team, Aaron Anderson and company. Canine Camp Dog Daycare, the only place that we ask you to send your dog for short-term care, and Canine Campground Dog Boarding for long-term care. And we have the exclusive Top Dog of the Week segment. Honda City of Liverpool, our exclusive car partner. When it comes to a vehicle, we go nowhere else but Honda City of Liverpool. The Millhouse Market, who we have worth the drive every time. The place that I will drive whatever it takes to. I'll drive an hour to get out there because I just love their food. Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory, the exclusive place for what's poppin', the list of topics for every show, and where you can get 20% off anywhere in the country by ordering for delivery or pickup, maandpaspopcorn.com. If you live in the community, you can go online to maandpaspopcorn.com and pick it up on site at 201 Old 7th North Street in Liverpool, or you can have it delivered to any one of the 50 states. If you go online to maandpaspopcorn.com for in-store pickup and delivery and use my promo code DT20, that's DT20, you get 20% off at checkout, online only. So thank you to all of our partners. Thank you to everybody that's been on the show. Thank you to you. Thank you to everybody on Facebook at WakeUpCallDT, Twitter at CallDT, and Instagram at WakeUpCall_DT for being a part of the show and connecting with us 24/7. Thank you for going to wakeupcalldt.com. Thank you for becoming a member of youtube.com/wakeupcalldt and mixlr.com/wakeupcalldt. To everyone that supports us, that reads our articles, that watches the show, that listens to the show, that comes to our live events, that supports the businesses that support us, thank you, thank you, thank you. Please keep doing it. I love it. And I hope that we just keep, in waves, just keep sending more and more goodness and love and positivity to one another. I appreciate you all tremendously. I hope you all have a great day. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And for now, God bless, no stress, do your best. I'll talk to you soon.